Message and data rates may apply.
Now, the way are all three of us on Facebook, on YouTube now?
No, that's just you guys can see me.
Oh, well, that's not fair. Anyway, look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports record here in the Mannequin Mountains. Sometimes I flounder. Haven't heard.
On the day I was born.
It made me rush when I try to find out what the hell's going on. All of a sudden, I got a TV screen in front of me, and I can see all three different pictures of all of us in our location. So what's the camera that actually shows on YouTube? Is it just the one showing me?
There's a picture. There's the in-studio camera of you, and then Mike has it set to where they can see Pete from his, like, you're seeing Pete on the screen.
Yeah, and they
the
can
YouTubers
see him
and Rumblers can see Pete as well.
Well, now we need to put you on there.
Let's not worry about that right now.
I don't think Flounder would like that very much.
Like my privacy back here.
Privacy, I believe it's privacy. Anyway, I don't mean to correct you on the radio. Oh, God, it's 3:04. I got to stop this day drinking. Yeah, that'll be the day. You know, I should start drinking. I think, I'm not a drinker. I don't know. I want to start drinking and smoking. I want to fire up a pack of, I want to get a whole freaking carton of Luckies and smoke every damn one of them right down in a row. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Look out. Here we go. 3:04. Here's our number. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. And geez, we got a whole day of weird stuff. We got like three major things. We got the Secret Service hearing, and that got a little. I hate having to work. I watched a few minutes of it at home, and then came in, so I missed most of it after that. But man, it got kind of fiery and fun. And that, by the way, that guy looks like a freaking Secret Service agent. The guy they got now, the acting director, he looks like a mad. He looks like, oh, you don't like? I think he looks like a tough guy to me.
The man said he didn't realize that people were trying to hurt their people they're trying to protect. He's a moron.
Well, all I saw was he looked like a freaking linebacker who was all ticked off and said he was ashamed and embarrassed, and then I didn't see much other than him yelling at Josh Hawley. But again, let me set the stage here. So we have the Secret Service situation. We also have Carmela Sidepiece, the shiftless, lazy vice president, is in town today. I think she's also, I assume she's meeting with our shiftless and lazy, uppity schmuppity DA Fanny the Floozy.
She makes a lot of quiet trips to Atlanta.
Yeah, well, because they're expecting a crowd of almost 1,200 to welcome her.
Well, if you've seen some of the videos of her events, like they had one at a retirement home in Florida, the Village.
Yeah, the Villages. Yeah. Anyway, and apparently, let's see, she's got a meeting later on with the Uppity Broads United, Side Pieces for America, which I think is going to be pretty exciting, and Jamindakins for Justice. Those are just three of the meetings she's going to have later on here in town. Also, we have J.D. Vance and the issue of the white kids. Good Lord, honestly, I hope you're enjoying. I hope you are also mocking these idiot Democrats who they'll do and say, boy, talk about gaslighting. They're just saying things and throwing it up against the wall and see what sticks. I mean, it's hysterical. Anyway, so we got a whole bunch of stuff like that too. Also, we got President Mumble Bumble is at it again. Good Lord, this guy. What a disgrace. And again, I think Carmela Sidepiece is going to have to answer for why she's been hiding the fact. Again, I heard a soundbite last night. Might have been Jesse Waters. I don't remember. But I heard a soundbite where finally somebody's replaying recent audio of her saying, oh, no, I work with him every day. He is as sharp as a tack. I mean, they were all in on the cover-up. I mean, all of these things have to be exposed. Her actual issues, and then how she tried to deceive the American people. And I guarantee you that she did not want him to drop out. I think she wanted him to drop out, hoping that they would pull it off again and that he would die and she'd be the first girl president. I think that she was that duplicitous and sneaky and vicious that she was hoping that she would become president before she had to worry about anything actually running herself. Anyway, just a thought. Number 404-741-1230. Pete, anything new in the mountains of Macon? We got sunny weather down here. How's your weather up there? It rained earlier, but it looks beautiful, hot and sunny. Muggy.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. The groundhog is out, but I had a sad thought this morning.
Oh, you had a Flounder, you want to make a note? You had a sad thought, did you? What?
Yeah, the worst thing about working at a morgue?
What's the worst thing about working at a morgue?
That when you die, you still have to show up for work one more time.
Ho, ha. Nothing but dead people. Hey, ha. We'll show up for work one more time.
By the way,
yes.
On Flounder, no one else can see it but you and me.
Yeah.
But something's got to be done about that light on the microphone because it's a piercing, white, brilliant light.
Oh, on Flounder's microphone? Yeah, it is. It is very bright.
Put a piece of tape around it or something because it's blinding.
Yeah, well, in fact, how come it seems so more blinding now? And I normally don't notice it through the window, but I sure notice it on the TV screen for the video of it. Anyway, well, yeah, look, folks, we're welcoming you inside here, the Inside Edition.
Whining.
It's bugging me.
Says as he goes back to his darkened man cave. So
the OCD is kicking in.
Oh, my God. Oh, mercy. Let's see. Geez, what else we got so many things.
No more brown M&Ms either.
Also, a couple Olympic. Oh, that's what the other thing was the Olympics. We got the Donald Trump. We got the Secret Service hearing. Vice President Scuzzbag. The side pieces in town. Also the J.D. Vance thing. President Mumble Bumble and the Olympics. Now, a couple of things. By the way, they did on the news. They did announce the result involving Simone Biles. And so we have Holy Crap at Sports. And Pete, I'm not going to mention anything about results of anything in case you haven't heard or haven't watched or whatever. Although I will say one thing. Well, first let me ask, Pete, have you watched much of Olympic coverage, either daytime or nighttime as it goes on?
Zero.
Yeah. Flounder, how about you? Have you watched?
I watched some of the sports. Just Veronica has it on. So I watched over the weekend. There was some soccer and what else did I watch? Some swimming.
Just watch anything last night?
No, did not last night.
Last night, I haven't watched much. I've watched a couple minutes of it. I kind of just check in to see what's going on. And last night, actually, when I tuned in last night, they were doing one of their feature stories, and it happened to be and it caught my attention. It happened to be about a kid from Georgia. And he was Brody Malone from, I think, Cedartown, Georgia. And they showed his dad, big husky guy with a full beard. He looked like a lumberjack kind of guy, big tough-looking guy. And his son, Brody, is a pummel guy on the American men's gymnastics team. Built like a brick. Holy crap! Those guys. Holy moly! Those guys are nothing but muscle. It's just it's unbelievable. This guy, and they did the story of Brody Malone and how they showed video when he was like 7. He could do triple jumps. It was the kid was born to do this kind of thing. And it talked about he was very serious and quiet, a very strong guy. The team all look up to him. And then his dad was talking about how sadness hit when his mom passed away, and they showed him. It was just a horrible. Got very, very emotional. And then they showed him trying to get the team their first medal in 20 years or whatever, and they showed him on the pommel horse, and he nailed it. When he came at this dismount, he actually nailed it. They all went nuts, and it was very, very emotional. I will say I watched that, and then I went over to watch a little bit of the eventing, which is an equestrian event. Eventing is actually 3 different disciplines, as I recall. It's jumping and racing cross country and also dressage, which is that horse dancing where they kind of
actually that was on last night. We watched a little bit of that.
Oh, you did, yeah. And again, that's I've been a horse guy for 30 years, all my life. I took my first horse lessons when I was 11. Anyway,
the dancing thing, is that something they naturally do?
No, and what's amazing about that, and I won't spend too much time. What? Pete's upset.
Can I say something?
Yes.
That what you're talking about is not the Olympics.
Well, either is snowboarding,
or breakdancing.
Either is breakdancing, or either is
There's breakdancing. Snowboarding is, but breakdancing is not. It's not a friggin' sport.
Okay, there's a lot of that are not sports.
Please.
Okay, well,
if anything, I think you would incorporate breakdancing into gymnastics.
Well, either is baseball. Baseball's not an Olympic. The Greeks didn't do baseball.
It's a sport.
Well,
the Greeks only did like 3 sports. So come on. And one of them was buggery.
Well, then any event that has only one person involved is not a sport either, right? Riflery's not a sport.
No. If it's a sport, it's a sport.
Riflery's
But
not a sport.
riding around on a horse.
Riflery's not a sport. Anything that goes
dancing.
on. Cut his freaking mic. I hate when you do this. He's just arguing to be arguing. He's just arguing to use arguing. He's using just arguing because that's all he wants to do. Anything involving one, therefore the luge is not a sport. Luge is not a sport. You didn't do a sport.
Luge is one of the greatest sports of all time.
It's not a sport. It's an event. It's a recreation.
Okay, just for
so
saying.
he wants
you
me to
use the word dancing.
We're not going to do
horses.
Descriptive. Well, luge sliding. Oh, sliding is not a sport. Tobogganing is not a sport.
You can get your head cut off.
With one, you can die on a horse too. Unless Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, anyway, not by dancing.
Dressage. Jesus, this is unfreaking believable.
Unless you're dancing under the horse.
Anything with one person, therefore, does not count as a sport. Hell, badminton's not a sport. It's a recreation with two little sissy guys. Anyway, dressage is not normal to a horse. And what amazes me, what really is spectacular to me as a horse person, is that you can never tell that the rider is giving directions to make that horse do things that are not natural. The rider looks like the rider is not moved, but there are tensions in the toes, in the feet, in the ankle, in the calf, in the leg, in the hands, in the arms, and the pressure of the leaning left or right, forward or back. It's unbelievable, the training and the specific tiny little things that they do to make those horses do that kind of stuff in that sport activity. Well, all right, it's 3:14 here.
Ice dancing, horse dancing,
John,
not Olympic sports.
Luge sliding, skating. Well, skating's not a sport either.
I want to see you lose.
Skating's not a sport. Skating's not a sport.
Of course it's a sport.
No, it's not. It's an activity. It's just one person dancing around on ice. Ice dancing. Even call it ice dancing. Ha-ha-da-da-da. They even call it
Are there
ice
any animals?
Dancing.
I just said ice dancing's not a sport.
There you are.
I just said it's not an Olympic sport.
And neither is ice skating because it's still one guy on skates or one girl on skates.
Skating is an actual sport.
And
dancing
that
is
ends
not.
our Olympic coverage this afternoon. 3:15 with a Kimmer Peyton argument time.
Show started at 3.
Such a pain in the ass. Oh, my God. You're just arguing for nothing. Jesus.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on XTRA 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions, no former shock jocks, just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Self-employed in 2021, you may be entitled to up to $32,220 in COVID tax relief. At smartSCTC.com, our ex-IRS auditors leverage credentialed knowledge to help you understand your claim with no upfront costs. Don't miss out on this opportunity to maximize the claim you're entitled to. Take our short eligibility quiz at smartSCTC.com now. That's smartSCTC.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and quite frankly, we were concerned.
About what?
Apparently, you were arrested for throwing a shopping cart at a customer?
In my defense, he had it coming.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors. We're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Now, I don't know anything about this group, which is probably not surprising to anybody. But on this day in 2019, Kraftwerk, that's W-E-R-K, Kraftwerk, won a long-running legal battle over their song Metal on Metal. Is this it here? Is this the one?
Yes.
And you're going to understand as I tell you that it was the European Court of Justice ruled against sampling of this track by a couple of hip-hop producers in 1999. That was 20 years before. The Metal on Metal sample, specifically this drum sequence, repeated throughout, was used by the producers over a version of the Sabrina Selfer song, Ner Mur, which means only me. Anyway, this is that over and over track, Metal on Metal. All right, now let me ask you this. Was this actually a song released as a song, or was this just a production thing?
Kraftwerk is a German electronic band from the 70s, so they were kind of a little out there.
I think I remember, didn't somebody do a satire, I think on Saturday Night Live, showing German guys with like being really robotic music or something?
Michael Myers did it.
Was that
Now we shall dance. Now we shall dance.
Yeah. Some German music. Was that about these guys like this, right? Anyway, now, so this was a song. This was a song that now would people listen to this as a song?
Some people like it.
God, okay. Well, again,
Germans.
Well, it just seems, he just repeats the same. I mean, it's worse than riding through the desert with a horse and no name, for God's sakes, man. All right, hold on. But the rolling camera, Pete and Flounder, everything's fine. All right, birthday list includes Lisa Kudrow, 61. Phoebe on Friends. Now she's doing that Apple TV Time Bandits thing, 61 Phoebe. And Lawrence Fishburne is 63. Morpheus in The Matrix, and he's on Pops on Blackish. Does he went to prison for tax evasion, or was that somebody else? Lawrence Fishburne.
That was Wesley Snipes.
Snipes.
You're getting your black actors
yeah, boy,
mixed up. By the way, okay, I'm going to say something about the Deadpool movie.
God. All right.
So
good.
if you want to turn away for a few seconds, this is a little. I'm going to give away something here.
Did you see it?
Wesley Snipes is one of the cameos, and it's one of the funniest parts. Because, I'm not going to say what happened, but it's one of the funniest parts where Ryan Reynolds looks at the camera. All he does is look at the camera, and everybody laughs.
Now, are when they do these break-in, or what do you call them, snippets of cameos? When they do cameos, ladies, have a good one. They're laughing at me. All the girls are leaving here and they're looking in the window. Now, are they actually? Do they have speaking lines, or is it just like some expression? Something? Yeah. Oh my God! So it's a part.
No, they're acting. They're part of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and that's out now. I'm guessing, right? Didn't it set the record? Box office record? I think did we say for an R-rated
like number
movie?
6 all time. Yeah.
But it was number 1 for the R-rated movie opening. They said. Specifically for R-rated. You warned us that it's got nothing but F-bombs in there all over the place, and the double F-bomb. Anyway, on this day in history, 1965, President Lyndon Johnson signed the Medicare bill, creating Medicare, also Medicaid, create Medicare for the elderly and Medicaid for the poor. The first 2 cards... I did not know this, or if I did, I forgot. The first 2 cards for Medicaid, 1965, Medicare, went to Harry Truman and his wife, because Truman was the first president to try to get a Medicare bill passed in Congress back in 1949. And in 1965, LBJ gave the Trumans the first 2 Medicare cards. Well, that's kind of cool. I saw 322. How you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. While we're at the Olympic thing, a couple things. First, I saw this, and I really kind of, after all that's going on with the opening ceremony and everything else, it turns out now, because of all the outrage over the opening of not mocking the Last Supper. And again, finally, more and more people are saying, the words Last Supper were pretty much, it wasn't, there was no denying that it was the Last Supper. I mean, and nobody can even pretend that it was something, the Greek feast of something or other now. Okay, so the disc jockey who performed at the show said her lawyers filing complaints over a torrent of threats and other abuse the LGBT queer icon suffered online in the ceremony's wake. Her name is Barbara Butch. Her lawyer said in Instagram she's been threatened with death, torture, rape, has been the target of numerous anti-Semitic, homophobic, sexist, and grossophobic insults. What the hell's grossophobic? A fear of being gross? I mean, seriously, what the hell is grossophobic? I've never seen that word before. Oh, my God. Now they have to invent new words to be offended by. Somebody called you gross. Well, you're obviously grossophobic. Oh, my God. What, were you clicking me there or what?
Yeah, we have Lori on the line. She wanted to talk about weird people.
Okay,
and Lori. Then we also have Roswell Tim.
Lori, I got to make a note here because I don't want to. We got Lori and Roswell Tim. Lori on the radio, babe. How's it going? Welcome aboard.
Great, guys. How are y'all?
Okie dokie. What's up?
I know you hadn't started talking about us being the weirdos here.
Yeah.
But I have so much to say about this. Number one, weird and creepy. Really?
Yeah.
Joe Biden is the creepiest person. And then Kamala kissing her husband with their mask on. I mean, we could go down the line with these people.
In fact, remember, Lori, remember this, Lori. Remember the time not only did Carmela use a mask when she's tried to make out with her husband, but Dr. Jill, the cuckold queen, stuck her tongue down his throat with Carmela's husband, and she wasn't wearing any mask when they were French kissing up there on the side a little while before that.
Then she's backing the women, and it's a guy in a dress backing us.
I know.
I mean, holy moly, these people. There's no way.
I know. Lori, thanks.
I want to be weird. I'm the normal weird.
There you go. All right, sweetie. 325, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. In fact, you're going to hear J.D. Vance. We'll be talking about this issue. Well, the morning show, MSNBC got caught talking about this whole white thing. Yes.
They always accuse the other side of what they themselves do and are. They're the weird ones. They mentally ill transsexuals and then they want to cut body parts off children. They're the weird ones, but they're going to point at a man who's happily married with 3 kids, biracial kids, by the way, who's a Marine and has led a normal life. That now is weird. What the Democrats want is weird. By the way, grossophobia is a fear of overweight people, fat people.
Oh, Jesus.
Fat people.
A fear.
Well, I have grossophobia when I'm on the plane and I see one I'm waddling down the aisle toward me and they got an empty seat next to me.
And they all know it, too. Every fat guy comedian does the same joke. We see you looking at us when we're walking down the aisle. So, it's got to be a thing. It's got to be awful. I mean, I'd hate to, seriously, for everybody.
Close the old pie hole.
Yeah. All right, but let me finish my thought on the
real quick, we got Swatoon.
Roswell Tim, I'm sorry. See, that's why I need to write him down.
Yeah, I've got Swatoon, and then we'll get to Roswell Tim.
Swatoon, you're on the radio. Welcome, sir. How's it going? What's up? What do you think?
I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to defend what Kamala said about Republicans being weird.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's in their mind, it's kind of weird that you have to, not be able to pay the electrical bill. It's kind of weird to not be able to afford the food. When you're elite, everything is weird to you.
That's a good
little
point.
People say.
Yeah, when you're let them eat cake and everything, the little people have a lot of weird stuff.
I mean, how weird is that you cannot afford gasoline? I mean, come on.
I know. It's these people, it's just outrageous. It's all gaslighting. They just say one lie after another over and over and over and see what sticks. And we played the soundbite yesterday. There must have been 10 or 12 of these liberal elitist leaders. Every one of them was calling J.D. Vance weird. They used the word weird every single soundbite. So the talking points went out to him,
remember what the holy books pretty much say about the devil. If he finds you a threat, he's going to attack you. So
yeah,
pretty much that's what they're doing. If they find you to be threatening, they're going to attack you with whatever, and that's what they're doing right now because they're afraid of him. What he's going to bring to Trump and what's going to bring to America. And when you are rich and you have a law, pretty much you are untouchable, and suddenly somebody's going to take that away from you. You're going to fight it with everything you can.
Yeah. These people are, and by the the devil must be in parts of them because they're nothing but hate speakers. The division and the hate and the vitriol dividing the nation in half, calling us names from the very beginning is nothing. We've never been through that before.
Remember, Joe Biden used to be Jamaican, and he was raised by whatever, somebody.
Black lifeguard.
He was everything you wanted to be, pretty much, just to kind of get you to trust them. And then after that, once they got power, then you are, if you're not stupid enough to realize, but when you realize, it's too late.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Swatoon. Look at the last 4 years. Do you really think when people voted for Joe Biden 4 years ago, when he was hiding in the basement, he said, "Oh, nice, he's going to stop the mean tweets. He's going to bring us together." He said he's going to fire anybody who says any bad words. It sounded, he's been in public office for 50 years, so he knows what he's doing. He really didn't seem like much of a threat. We hated him for what he stood for, but basically for the country who didn't really follow politics every day and go nuts about it like reporters do. He looked like a nice alternative to that mean tweet guy. Do you really think any of those people thought that he would be responsible for where we are today? It went joink right over their heads. They told you what they were going to do. We knew what they were like, and everybody said, "Oh, well, it's just so nice old Joe." I can't believe anybody would actually understand that they weren't paying attention. And this is exactly what they got, and like Georgia voted for two liberals, and we got them. And this now we're suffering for it. So I hope we learned our lesson. I don't know.
We also learned that Georgia basically didn't pay attention to the vote 4 years ago, and they cheated and they won. They stole a lot of votes, in Fulton County especially. Yeah.
Well, here we go. Please don't let this happen again. Please, all of a sudden I'm getting nervous. And I know it's just after, it's like the honeymoon period where she's now the candidate, but God.
We live in such a racist country that the woman has to pretend to be African-American to get her party's nomination to be president.
Well, I just heard from the Jamaican committee. They're very upset about that, by the way. Coming up next, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 3:30, 404-741-1230. Roswell, Tim, if you're still there, hold on. You're next, my friend. Look out.
It's time for your Georgia headlines presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
The longest trial in Georgia history could come to an end this week. The 19-month-long YSL RICO trial is set to resume this morning with a new judge in place. Judge Paige Reese Whitaker will hear motions from the defense attorneys of Young Thug and 5 co-defendants as to why the trial should be dismissed. Judge Whitaker will decide whether to grant a mistrial or continue with the case. Vice President Harris will hold a rally today in downtown Atlanta as she makes her case for the office of the presidency. The vice president's campaign announced they will bring people to the rally with a special guest, Megan Thee Stallion. Stallion posted on Instagram that she will be performing at 7:30. Donald Trump is also expected to campaign in Georgia this week. Final plans have not been made, but the former president is expected to be in Georgia on Saturday.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow XTRA 106.3 on social media or download the XTRA 106.3 app.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one has been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
We've all heard it before. Buy one, get one Windows. 10% off if you call today. $500 off if you sign tonight. But are these really a special? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I I got a tip for you. Don't fall for it. It's exhausting trying to keep up with all the fake specials being offered. And we all say the same thing. We're all licensed, we're all insured, we all have 5-star reviews. At Exovations, we want to earn your business the right way. But don't take our word for it. Let us show you why we say we are different from other contractors. To find out what it means to have an on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation, call me today at 770-205-2995 or online at exovations.com. That's exovations.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Diamonds Direct Atlanta is now open. The nation's fastest growing jewelry store now is a location right here in Buckhead. Shopping for the perfect ring to pop the question? Or maybe an everyday diamond tennis bracelet? The experts at Diamonds Direct are sure to have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the occasion. With the lowest direct importer pricing, you can expect the best selection of certified diamonds at unmatched prices, all within a luxury showroom atmosphere that makes you feel right at home. Come see what other jewelers are trying to replicate. Diamonds Direct's unbeatable after-the-sale guarantees and warranties are the best you can find. Free cleanings, sizing, polishing, accent diamond replacement for the lifetime of your purchase. If that's not enough, they also offer a 110% upgrade policy for you to use as often as you'd like on your diamond engagement ring, pendant, or studs. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, come see how Diamonds Direct is reinvigorating the jewelry industry at their brand new Buckhead showroom. When you want to have complete confidence in your jewelry buying experience, shop with the experts at Diamonds Direct. Now open on the corner of Maple Drive Northeast and Peachtree.
It's Klinger. 335. As on this day, 2005, a new book came out to mark the... Well, hold on. Now I wrote over my own words. Yeah, think of the thing there. To mark the 35th anniversary in 2005 of the death of Jimi Hendrix. And the new book claimed that Jimi Hendrix pretended to be gay so he'd be kicked out of the Army. Room Full of Mirrors by Charles Cross said Army records showed Hendrix was discharged from the 101st Airborne Division, oh my God, when he was 19 in 1962 for, quote, homosexual tendencies. Oh my God, that's right out of Stripes. Holy smoke. All right, hold on. We got more sets. 335.
He was willing to learn.
Right. Is there a special place they'd send us? 335, 336. Roswell, Tim, you're on the radio. What's up, man?
Kimmer, I just wanted to tell you and your brother Pete, if y'all don't quit arguing in that back seat, I'm going to turn the station wagon around and
maybe come back there. Well, he's just a pain in the ass. He just, I wasn't on the air 30 seconds, and he's going boom, bam, pow. He's just so, I said, God. Jeez.
Well, I'm gonna put y'all in timeout and make y'all sit through the Vladimir Harris show tonight, and I'm gonna put Fanny in between y'all to make you bad.
All right, well that'll do it. All right, Roswell,
take your belt off.
Our birthday list includes Paul Anka, 83 years old. Put your head on my shoulder, lonely boy. And what was it when he wrote to his babysitter?
But didn't he write My Way for Sinatra?
Yeah, he wrote that. And he also, You're Having My Baby. And that people went nuts.
To his sitter.
He went to his babysitter was Put Your Legs on, or head on My Shoulder, I think. And no, that wasn't it. There was one he wrote to his babysitter. He was like 13 years old or 12 years old or something. Anyway, Paul Anka is 83. Anita Hill testified against her, Clarence Thomas. I believed her, but I also, I don't know what to say about this. I believed her testimony about the, Coke can and all that stuff, and the porn. Anita Hill is 68, testified at the Clarence Hill Supreme Court hearing. I don't know what to tell you. I believe the woman. I tend to believe chicks until they prove otherwise, but I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying. 1974. Oh boy, how's this go? The Judiciary Committee in Congress votes to impeach Richard Nixon as president for covering up and blocking the Watergate investigation and abuse of power. So the committee in Congress voted to impeach him. That just means they're going to have a hearing. Just like the father of our country, yes, Nixon heroically stepped aside, just like George Washington, ladies and gentlemen. As the Republicans always said, he was just like George Washington. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's what the Democrats said about Joe Biden, who stepped aside as though he did a thing like George Washington did. Well, President child killer pervert did not step aside. In fact, was it the Wall Street Journal or the Daily Mail or somebody just came out with another exclusive and said what happened was the reason, and we all know that he didn't step aside for the good of the party, good of the country, or anything else. Putty Tat went to him. Barack Hussein Putty Tat finally went to him and said, guess what, Joe? Carmela's side piece has said she will and she is able to invoke the 25th Amendment and go to your cabinet and they will vote to oust you as president. So either you get the hell off the ticket or you're going to be thrown out of office, which is exactly what Nixon's compatriots did to him, and he took their advice and resigned. But they went to Putty Tat, and we knew this was true. There was no such thing as, it's time for the new generation. My ass. They threatened you to be kicking you out of office. Again, more duplicity, and I hope to hell that Donald Trump brings this up about another coup. Again, it was the third coup by the Democrat Party. It's just unbelievable these people got away with this kind of stuff. And again, in 1974, his own party went to Nixon, said, you got to go, and he did. And this exact same thing happened. It was a coup by the Democrats, only Nixon was breaking the law, and he was going to get impeached and thrown out of office. This is totally different. He's been incompetent. They've been covering this guy up for 4 years. I mean, this is a scandal, what they've been doing to this guy. To our country, been doing to our country. Sorry, I got a thing here. Yeah. Before I forget, let me do one more thing about this Olympic chick. This woman, Barbara Butch, her lawyer said she's been the target of death threats, torture, and rape threats, anti-Semitic, homophobic, sexist, and grossophobic results with fat people, threatened with rape. Yeah.
There's not that much flour in all of France.
Yeah, I know. Well, you'd have to, roll. Anyway, whatever. Again, homophobic, sexist, rapey, murdering kind of stuff like that. He says she has been the target of an extremely violent campaign of cyber harassment and defamation. And she said, whatever some people say, I exist. I've never been ashamed of who I am, and I take responsibility for everything, including my artistic choices. All my life, I've refused to be a victim. I won't shut up. Fine. Well, let me. By the way, they are investigating whether French nationals or foreigners or anybody else, they will intend to prosecute anyone who tries to intimidate her to the fullest extent of the law. All right, hold on a second. Fine. If you want to call yourself anything you want. The problem is you were asking for this. You knew that you were going to get this exact kind of reaction. You thought you were so freaking special. You thought, oh man, I'm going to bring the world to know that all of us are different, but we're all the same together because the world is da-da-da-da-da. And you thought you were so freaking special that you could pull off a stunt like this at the freaking Olympics. The nerve of these people. You freaking try to shove it down our throats. You heathen scumbag.
Narcissistic.
You knew this was going to happen. And she knew it as much as, honest to God, if she had been willing to walk through a gangland neighborhood at night with $1,000 bills sticking out of her pocket yelling, I hate all you black people, what do you think's going to happen to you? My God, man. And if you want to do this for your own benefit, that's fine. But don't try to shove it down our throats, especially at the Olympics. The nerve that now she's all upset because they reacted to it. Duh! You got exactly what you deserved. I don't feel bad for you.
It was the equivalent of Die Hard when Bruce Willis is standing naked with a placard in Harlem saying, "I hate blank."
Yeah.
And Samuel Jackson had to come out and save him. That's what they did.
It's unbelievable. And she says, "Oh, now they don't." Well, no kidding. You knew this. You asked for it.
Oh, and they did the wrong Greek god. It shouldn't have been Dionysius. It should have been Narcissus.
Well, see, there you are. Either way, it was either an orgy or some pig food fest or the Last Supper. And they even called it the Last Supper, so I'll go with Last Supper. You know what I mean? Jeez, Flounder, what do you...
Martin's on the line?
Martin, welcome aboard, man. What do you think?
Yo, Tim.
Yes, sir.
All right, so quickly, Klinger was the one on MASH.
Right. Right, wore the dress.
Trying to duplicate the guy, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So that's for the Hendricks deal. Now, the other one, this is a really weighty subject, but, it's pretty big of the girl to stand up and try and defend herself. And
it's from big of her, all right.
It takes a lot to do it. Pete, you're right. There's not enough flour.
I mean, good grief.
I can't believe you slipped that in there. But,
that's what she said.
Bro, just keep looking. I got a board.
Oh, God, I had something else to say. You guys are so crazy. I was going to show up. I was outside the door with a bucket of water. Yeah. You guys are really
probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, Martin. Well, we got to keep checking in, my friend. We can use your advice. 343, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's freaking stuff. Oh, also, here we go, fitting right in with the Olympics. Yes, apparently during the soccer match between Paraguay and Israel, as they were beginning to face off, a group of anti-Semitic protesters made their presence known by chanting anti-Israeli things and anti-Jewish things and Heil Hitler with the Nazi salute and waving Palestinian flags. Yes, and these are all Democrats, by the way. If any Americans over there, these would not be Trump supporters. Nazi salutes, heinous display of hatred. People were seen brandishing a large sign that read Genocide Olympics. The anti-Israeli demonstrators eventually were kicked out of the stadium. No other disruptions. Paraguay beat Israel 4-2. The anti-Semitism comes as French police have now launched an investigation into death threats received by 3 Israeli athletes at the games. Concerns for the team remain a significant priority. The nation's weeks away from entering 10 months of war against Hamas. Israeli athletes in Paris are being escorted to and from events by elite tactical units and have been given 24-hour protection. Now, along with that, if you know that I've heard this name before. I don't know anything about her. I guess she's a famous model and social something or other, Bella Hadid. She this month went out with the people from Adidas with a new ad featuring Bella Hadid holding a coveted classic sneaker from the 1970s. It was meant to honor the 52nd anniversary of the Munich Olympics. She is Bella Hadid, a Palestinian. The Summer Games marred by tragedy when 11 Israeli athletes and a German police officer were murdered and slaughtered by Palestinian militant people. Hadid says she was shot. This kills me. This is a famous actress, Bella Hadid. She says she was promoting their sneakers for Adidas to celebrate the Munich Olympics. Okay. She said she was shocked and upset by the parallel, claiming to have no knowledge at all of the historical connection to the atrocious events in Munich in 1972. My team should have known, Adidas should have known, and I should have done more research so that I too would have known and understood and spoken up. So Adidas is apologizing for the campaign and the negative impact on the models and everything else. Her father is Mohammed Hadid is a Palestinian, outspoken activist, Jew hater, denouncing the campaign connection to the liberation of the Palestinian people. We are not synonymous with terrorism. Hadid also denied hating you Jews. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, the whole thing. My God, what happened?
Yep. Well, okay. Adidas is from where?
I don't know. Palestine. I don't know what city she's brought. Probably Germany. Oh, okay. Oh, the company. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the girl. Yeah, a German company. But again, how could you not make the connection between Germany and Munich in 1972? The one thing anybody in the world says about Munich in 1972 is that little broadcaster from the horror and the Jim McKay coming out in his shorts and a jacket saying, "Oh my God, they're all dead. They're all dead. We can't believe it. They're all gone." I mean, who doesn't think that with a 72 when you hear Munich?
Yeah, they did it on purpose. Adidas did it on purpose, in my opinion. Bella Hadid thought it was funny to accept it. It was all on purpose.
God, I mean, what happened? And this is all wokeness. This is all anti just getting along. This is exact opposite of what the world used to be.
It's also not teaching history in classrooms anymore.
Again, the famous woman, as a Palestinian, how could she not know anything about that? You would think. Anyway, 347, a little later. Sorry, gang. 347, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. It's only Tuesday, and it's only 347. I call drinking.
With so many questions about what happens next, trust the conservative voice of Atlanta for the latest news and the voices you need during such an uncertain time in America.
Incidentally, for the record, this is an insurrection. The Democrats have pulled off not only a coup, they've actually committed an insurrection. They have taken their leader out of his leadership position to run again for president when he's able to do it.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station. XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
The Braves are making back to school a little brighter this August with 10 days of amazing giveaways. Don't miss the Ronald Acuna Jr. 41 home runs bobblehead presented by Napa, the Outcast bobblehead, Ozzy Albies and his dog bobblehead presented by NextGuard, and many more. Come enjoy great baseball and collect these must-have items. Visit Braves.com/promos to see all of August's A-plus giveaways and to get your tickets. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Crap, I was writing Flounder a note. I want you to get some sound for me for the next break. But I'm not right for a history thing. Anyway, how you doing? 350, 10 before 4. It's only me. It's only... Bill Elvis? Bill Elvis Presley right there. There we go. It was 2003, Sam Phillips. Sam Phillips founded Sun Records, and he died of respiratory failure on this day in Memphis in 2003. In the 1940s, Sam Phillips worked as a DJ for Muscle Shoals, Alabama radio station WLAY. Phillips recorded what some consider to be the first rock and roll record, Rocket 88, by Jackie Brenston and his Delta Cats in 1951. Sam Phillips discovered Elvis Presley, worked with Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, Roy Orbison, Ike Turner, B.B. King, and Jerry Lee Lewis.
Rocket 88's a great song. I got it on my phone.
Really? Rock is and the first rock and roll record. Sam Phil.
Rocket 88, Jackie Brenston. Yeah,
I'll be damned.
Several people have done the song. So
really, I know the name. I don't think I remember the song. I know the name. I remember the name of it, but I don't recall anybody singing it just for record. Anyway, our birthday list includes Hilary Swank. Hillary is 50. She won Best Actress Oscars, 2 of them for $1 Million Baby and Boys Don't Cry. And then it says here, you may also remember her as Mr. Miyagi's student Julie in The Next Karate Kid, but she survived that movie, thus no Oscar. I don't think that's the reason, sir, that they didn't give her an Oscar for that one. And on this day in history, 1928, you've heard the brand name Eastman Kodak and Company. Well, George Eastman put on a show for all of his friends at his New York townhouse on this day in 1928. They were about to see the first color amateur motion picture. Among the guests, Thomas Edison, who immediately flew into a rage knowing that someone else was going to make money on a great invention, so he tried to stab Mr. Eastman in the eye and in the throat with a cocktail fork. I heard that he stabbed his cat on the way out and was screaming down the street trying to get... Oh, it was an unbelievable story. Anyway, Eastman knew the thing. 352, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And, in case you missed this part about speaking of the Olympics, holy crap, 2 boxers. Let's see, Amain Khalif of Algeria and Lin Yu Ting of Taiwan last year in the World Championships of Boxing were thrown out because they're boys. And they were allowed to compete as the girls boxers in the World Championships until they got caught. Turns out they have both an X and Y chromosome. Gee, that means you're a man. Well, guess what? A row has erupted in Paris. Emerged that these 2 guys were thrown out last year about their biological sex. But the International Olympic Committee has different eligibility criteria, and they will be boxing. In light of that, there's footage all over social media right now showing these guys, one of them beating the living crap out of an actual girl, pummeling her face, shots to the head against a Mexican opponent back in 2022. And they captioned in the video, note the force of the punching displayed by Khalif as she unloaded on her opponent in a flurry of punches. They're guys. The girl who got creamed said, when I fought with her, I fell out of my depth. Her blows hurt a lot more than any guy I've boxed, even sparring with men. I'm glad I got out of the ring safely. It's a good somebody hadn't gotten killed.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
That's what it's going to take. It's going to take someone in a coma or dead.
But again, how is it even a thing? How is it even possible that the Olympics has to be worried about boys dressing as... Do they have penises? I mean, can someone pull down their pants and say, what do they have? And if they don't and they're still XY chromosomes, they're boys. That's not...
They're misogynists, too. They're in there to beat up women, is what they're doing.
It's unbelievable. And where are the women? Where are the women?
I can see by the camera here he's not even paying attention to you.
Flounder's not. He's got stuff to do. He's doing things in there. So
I'm looking for that Rockin' 88 song, so I just got it. So that's what I was.
Let's play it. Let's play a little bit of it. We're not criticizing you. We're just saying I can't hear anything all the time.
Shut up.
So my earphone. What the hell's going on here? Are you doing something on my headphones? Sounds like Jerry Lee Lewis. Here we go.
You women have heard of jalopies, you've heard the noise they make, but let me introduce my new Rocket 88. Yes, it's straight, just one way. Everybody likes my Rocket 88. Baby, we'll ride in style, moving all along.
Yeah, there you go. And what's the name again? I forgot his name already. Sam Phillips.
Jackie Brenston.
Jackie Brenston.
Sam Phillips did the first rock and roll guy of that guy, Jackie Brenston. Now we got it. Oh, cool. Thank you, Flounder. Well done, sir. 355 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 741. Oh, God. Flounder's fun. He's right here. What do you got?
Come up with some better board games, man. Horrible board games growing up, because board games lie to you. You know, like on the board game, they'll tell you the name of the game on the board game, then it'll have a description. It's always a lie. Clue, an exciting mystery game for the whole family. Tell the truth. Battleship, learn how to hate your brother. How about that? Trivial Pursuit, find out how dumb your dad is. Pictionary, the game that leads to divorce. Grab a pen, let's have fun. Better games, kids. Better game than Operation. That was the worst. Which one of Satan's angels came up with that? That's a good message for an 8-year-old. You make a mistake, you get electrocuted. Go for the bread basket. I think I lost. Let me check the rules. Says if you're tasting metal, you lose. Okay, I'm tasting metal.
Hopefully, doctor. 3:57 with a Kimmer Pete and a Flounder. And we're going to be talking about Vice President Sidepiece is in town trying to raise money. And a crowd of almost 12 people met her to say, boy, we really want you, Miss whatever your name is. And there's a funny cartoon by Michael Ramirez in the paper this morning in Al Jazeera Constipation. It shows the Democrats' donkey party on the beach on a lounge chair and sunny, beautiful day on the beach, and the Democrat donkey saying things finally are really, really looking up. And unfortunately, right above him, falling out of a coconut tree, is Vice President Sidepiece of her famous coconut tree meme with her mother and so forth, warning her about stuff. Anyway, we got a whole bunch about that. Also, you're going to hear more about the white babies business. Again, these Democrats are gaslighting everything. Also, there's a proposal now passed in Congress to make sure that all American flags by the federal government can only buy American flags completely manufactured in America. Millions of flags are bought mostly from China right now, flags that the government buys. The proposal, Susan Collins, Republican of Maine, and the Democrat Sherrod Brown of Ohio. The guy was accused of beating up his wife so bad she got a restraining order against him. This guy, Brown of Ohio, Sherrod Brown, he's a Joe Biden disciple. He did the president slam her up against the wall and start to invade her private space, and she says, wait a minute, what are you doing there? That's what Biden did. This guy did the same thing to one of his women who sued him for it, too. I mean, he's sleazebags. Anyway, from now on, hopefully all the flags will have to be bought in America, which would be a nice change. Oh, and William Calley has passed away at the age of 80. 4 people were charged with the My Lai massacre, including a Captain Ernest Medina, but the only person convicted of the My Lai massacre was William Calley. And he passed away. Actually, he passed away a couple of months ago. It just turned out it was revealed just this week. William Calley dead at 80 years old. He had retired to Georgia in the family jewelry business. He was a certified gemologist. And coming up, I'll mention a little bit more about this just to kind of put it all to rest. And what a time that was. March of 1968. Yes, sir. Coming up on 4 o'clock, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Our number, 404-741-1230. 741-1230. 4 o'clock, having a great day. Join us, would you? Having a good time. Look out.
W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Dueling rallies. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance campaigning in Nevada.
This is a state that former President Trump has never won. We expect the Senator J.D. Vance, now the VP nominee, to spend a lot of time here along with former President Trump in the run-up to November because recent trends suggest that maybe they could have victory here come Election Day.
Fox Business's Grady Trimble in Las Vegas. Meantime, Vice President Kamala Harris is set to rally in Atlanta, telling reporters earlier she has not yet decided on a running mate. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro is on the short list.
Thanks to the Biden-Harris administration, we will now, over the course of the next 5 years, connect every one of those 276,000 homes and businesses to high-speed internet.
Emphasizing on how his own economic agenda aligns with President Biden's and giving some credit to that infrastructure law. Harris, meantime, has taken a 1-point lead over former President Trump in a new Reuters Ipsos poll. That's within the margin of error, but close closing a gap that had opened in the final weeks of President Biden's re-election bid. The White House says it does not believe all-out war is inevitable as Israel strikes back at Hezbollah over the weekend rocket attack that killed 12 children and teens in the Golan Heights. State Department Deputy Spokesman Vedant Patel.
Our commitment to Israel's security is ironclad. It's ironclad in the context of any threat that it faces from the Iranian regime itself or malign proxy groups like Hezbollah.
Today's Israeli airstrike in Beirut targeting a Hezbollah commander that it blames for that rocket attack. Hezbollah has denied responsibility. A mixed day overall on Wall Street as the Fed begins a two-day meeting. The Dow rallying in the end, up 203 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? The sound of adorable little birds in your garden. And if you were here, you'd taste the 2 sweet but tiny tomatoes you grew all by yourself. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens when you're riding your motorcycle, protected by Progressive, on your way to the store for a pack of normal-sized tomatoes. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without getting your hands dirty. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Look out. Got to get the beat going here. Look out. Little moonwalking. 403, Kimmer, Pete, and Philander. 106.3, 404-741-1230. Bum, 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 bum. 1997. Judge in L.A. ruled Michael Jackson members of his family were not liable for losses incurred by the producers of the failed 1994 Jackson Family Honors TV special. The show was delayed for weeks because Jackson was ill and couldn't perform solo as expected, so they lost a bundle. And the family said, a judge ruled they were not liable for the losses. That was just the way it goes. Billie Jean, and I mean, what a talent. God, just anyway. Birthday list, Christine Taylor. You may not know the name. I'll bet you know the face of the girl. I always thought she was a dish. Christine Taylor's 53. She played Sally Stillwell on Arrested Development. Wasn't Stillwell the guy, the son of the famous actor from the 40s and 50s who had no hair? And had no eyebrows and everything. Wasn't that the Stillwell thing?
Yo Brenner?
No. The famous big, tall, blonde guy. He was married to, the big, tall, geeky guy was in Arrested Development. And he's the son of another famous actor. I got his face in I saw him over in Vietnam. He came in to entertain the troops. Oh, God. Oh, God. I hate this. I'll almost have it.
Christine Taylor's Ben Stiller's.
Yeah, I didn't quite get to it. Sally Stillwell on Arrested Development. She was also Zoolander 2, and Dodgeball with her now ex-husband, Bert Stiller. And Ben Stiller. I got a thing here. I got a cross.
You're so close on all these facts. I know. You're just missing.
Well, I can't read it. Ben Stiller, and I know Ben Stiller. Anyway, before that, she was Marcia in the Brady Bunch movies. And I always thought she was a Christine Taylor's 53 years old. What was the name of that guy? It starts with a B. It's got a B in it. Crap.
What are you talking about?
The actor, big, tall, blonde. He was in Arrested Development. He played the guy that he had no hair and he had to wear wigs. Oh, God. When I go home, I'm going to Google it. And, I almost had the name. And his father's a famous actor. And he was in Dog Show.
Bo Bridges?
No. He was in a dog show, game show, whatever it's called.
Best in Show.
A Best in Show, and he ran the hotel. The guy that ran the hotel said, "We'll get your room here in the closet." Oh, my God. Somebody help me out here. 404-741-1230. Good grief. Anyway.
Which way you come in?
Oh, come on. I almost had it. Not Becker. Oh, God, crap.
Where's Becker?
No.
Ed Begley Jr.
Ed Begley Jr. And his father, Ed Begley, I met him in Vietnam entertaining the troops, and it was Ed Begley Jr., and that's who it was.
Oh.
What?
All this was so you could tell a Vietnam story?
No, that's how I tried to remember it. That's how I tried to remember, because I remembered his father, and I thought if I remember his name, I'll get the kid's name.
This cleaning stuff is for the bigger dogs.
And by the way, for the record, one of the reasons might have been because I was talking about William Calley died at the age of 80. And Vietnam, March 1968. Well, excuse me. Anyway, they murdered 504 people. And it was the Central Vietnamese Coastal My Lai Massacre. There were the Army court-martial charged the people with 102 deaths. Calley was the only one convicted, sentenced to life in prison in 1971. He was behind bars 3 days when Richard Nixon, the president, ordered him released under house arrest. He spent, I think he spent 3 years in home detention at Fort Benning. Got visits from his girlfriend. They later married and had a family. When he was discharged in 1976, he was ordered under house arrest and discharged from the service, lived his life out quietly in Georgia at his family's jewelry business. He was a certified gemologist. They had one son, later divorced. Barber in the hometown of William Calley said he's a good man, a fine man, leave it alone, don't drag it all out again. Another guy says, you got a bum rap, you ought to bury it. That stuff's hard to live with. You ever kill a man, you don't know what they're talking about. You ever see blood to bathe in, you don't know what it's like. Leave him alone. Anyway, and one last thing. In 2009, William Calley did make his first public apology. Quote, "There is not a day that goes by that I do not feel remorse for what happened that day in My Lai. I feel remorse for the Vietnamese who were killed, for their families, for the American soldiers involved and their families. I'm very sorry." William Calley passed away at the age of 80. Okay, so Ed Begley Jr.
Let it go.
Thank you. 408. Now, but my phone, leave me alone. I'm trying to turn it off. Oh, that's Flounder. Sorry, Flounder was trying to get. Here we go. I'll read the story. Flounder just sent the story here. Let's see. Oops. Oh, it says join Brenda on Instagram. Well, not now. Let's see. Where's the story? Oh, it's just a headline. Well, the headline says, Trump and Vance to hold joint weekend rally at the same venue as VP Harris. No kids. At the same time at the same place? Holy crap. That'll be
He's
funny.
The king troller. I mean.
Holy smokes. How funny is that going to be? Oh, my God. I mean, the same. What do they mean by the same joint weekend rally at the same venue? How's that possible? Newly graduated will hit a joint rally. Oh, now you want me to log in or sign up? Hold on, here we go. Oh, my God. Former President Donald Trump and his newly christened running mate J.D. Vance will headline a joint rally in Atlanta on Saturday at the same venue where Vice President Sidepiece is holding her first event in Georgia since she became a lying, dirty cheat. Trump's Saturday evening rally at the Georgia State University's Convocation Center in downtown Atlanta will offer a visceral contrast to how the two campaigns are going to be well, I'll be damned. So both of them are going to feel, I'll be damned. That'll be interesting. I think I'd be staying away from Georgia State's convention area center for a while there. Holy criminy. Can you imagine the security now? Oh, my God. Well, they're obviously working on it now. I guarantee you there's undercover and regular non-undercover Secret Service and security officials, cementing down manhole covers and everything else for Saturday. Well, maybe
those incompetent boobs? No, they're not.
Well, in fact, Flounder, let's do this. Let's play that soundbite of Josh Hawley and the Secret Service chief. The acting Secret Service director was at a joint hearing today over the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and part of it went like this when it got a little steamy there. Flounder, if you will, sir.
Is it not prima facie that somebody has failed? A former president was shot.
Sir, this could have been our Texas school book depository. I have lost sleep over that for the last 17 days,
Then
just like you
fire
have.
somebody to
and
hold them accountable.
I will tell you, Senator, that I will not rush to judgment, that people will be held accountable, and I will do so with integrity and not rush to judgment and put people
I can't believe
unfairly
that you
persecuted.
are unfairly persecuted.
Unfairly,
We've got people
sir.
who are
we
dead.
have to be able to have a proper investigation into this, Senator.
Ooh. Well, again, I wish I'd heard, I wish I could watch all these all the time, every minute of it.
How did we get to a point where government officials that have majorly screwed up, where people died, get people behind them on the other side defending them over heated questions? They're supposed to get heated questions. They work for us. Yeah. People got killed here. People got injured. Trump almost died. I'm so tired of these guys defending these incompetent federal bureaucrats and saying, oh, you shouldn't yell at them. There's some kind of decorum here. No, there's not. They work for us, and they've gotten people killed. I would love to, every time they grill one of these people, to grow the Dr. Fauci's and all these lots that have lied to us. They all need to be drilled and grilled and put behind bars.
Well, this acting director said he was ashamed of security lapses, kept the shooter agents in the dark about the shooter, elevated the position last week with a boom. Based on what he knows, neither the Secret Service counter sniper teams nor members of the former president's security detail had any knowledge there was a man on the roof with a firearm. They were not aware the assailant had a firearm until they heard the gunshots. Before that, they were operating on the knowledge that local law enforcement was working on the issue of a suspicious individual before the shots were fired. Since visiting, he identified gaps in our security. I laid in a prone position to evaluate his line of sight. What I saw made me ashamed. Command post suspicious, and they go on to the timeline and when he knew and when they. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, in fact, my basic problem is when I look at the video, there's only 3 buildings. I mean, there's really just 3 buildings. How the hell could you, not have people standing on 3 buildings? I mean, seriously, I don't, there's no possible explanation. And also why 100 people on the ground are saying there's a guy, and they're all taking video. They're all using their phone, showing the guy laying, with his gun. It's unbelievable. So anyway.
And he's upset he's being yelled at. People are dead.
Well, again, I wish I could watch every minute of these damn things. I wish school kids were forced to watch these things, with someone pointing out what's important and what it means, and putting it in perspective and saying this is our country. What the hell's going on? This is not us. This isn't what we do.
No.
Seriously, think about it. I mean, just your daily life today is just not America anymore.
And it's all because there's no meritocracy anymore. It's not what's inside of you or your talent or ability to learn. It's all about what you freaking look like.
Oh, Lordy. Well, coming up, they're still going after J.D. Vance. We'll have more of that here in a second coming up. It's 4:14 already. Come repeat and flounder. Our number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Join us if you like. It's a beautiful afternoon.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Are you tired of politics? You tired of the election? You wish it would all go away? It won't. I know it's tiring, but it's not just the future of this country that's at stake. It's your future as well. If you're not a childless cat lady, the education of those children, it's at stake. You want to buy a home someday? That's at stake. You want to be able to retire comfortably? That is certainly at stake. And there's a couple of things that I would like you to remember. I hope you think they're important. The election for president, certainly. But just as important in my mind, the votes for your representatives and your senators. As things stand now, subject to change, I'm pretty much convinced that Kamala Harris is going to be elected. A couple of reasons. First of all, the national media is certainly absolutely on her side and will do everything they can to make sure she's shown in a positive light and Donald Trump negatively, which isn't hard. Harris will pay attention to her speechwriters and advisors, Trump won't. She'll concentrate on all the wonderful things the government can do for unions and for the middle class. Trump will concentrate on finding nifty new nicknames to call Kamala. All the while, the media will be beating the drums for Kamala. For instance, right now, you go on these various AI chat rooms, ask them about the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Go to Meta, that's the Facebook crowd, ask them about the assassination attempt. They will say the scenario about Donald Trump being shot during a campaign rally was entirely fictional. Meta AI. Tell me about the assassination attempt on Trump. Answer, I can't assist with that. I don't always have access to the most up-to-date information. Can I help you with anything else? The bias is there. Sadly, most Americans aren't able to wade through it. We're in trouble. Big trouble. Neil Bortz, XTRA 106.3.
Hey, it's Tuck here with an important message as the weather heats up. Southern Exteriors is gearing up with unmatched quality and precision. For over 25 years, they've been delivering top-notch craftsmanship that you can rely on. And let me tell you, they're hotter than the campaign trail in July. Got a home exterior project that's got you feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. From roofing to siding, gutters to windows and doors. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. That's southernexteriors.co. Get a free consultation. Southern Exteriors, your home's best ally with any project.
You have enough to deal with after an accident. You don't want to spend a lot of that time messing around with insurance companies. Besides, what are you going to say to them? You really know the ins and outs? David Van Sant at Van Sant Law does. He used to work for the insurance companies. Their worst nightmare. He knows who to call, what to say, how to listen to him, and he has your best interest at heart. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Hey there, it's Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly. Summer is over, and we are in back-to-school mode. So are our friends at Steve Raymond Chevrolet. My friend Ali has an exciting announcement.
Hey, thanks, Tara. I'm Ali Khan, General Manager of Steve Raymond Chevrolet. Join us Saturday, August 9th and 10th for a back-to-school giveaway. We will have free lunch, and we will be donating backpacks stuffed with school supplies free for the first 100 families in attendance. Be sure to scan the QR code in Our Town Monthly to reserve your backpack. Walk-ins are always welcome. We cannot wait to see you there. At Steve Raymond, community is everything to us.
Wow, Ali, a number 2 pencil and a Chevy can take you anywhere. Stop in to Steve Raymond on Cobb Parkway, August 9th and 10th. Grab lunch, a backpack, and say hello from us. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
One of the few guys of the 80s that I really, really liked a lot. Musically, of course. Tim Pete and Flounder with Steve Winwood. And on this day, 1988, started a 4-week run at number 1 with Roll With It. It only, number 1 in America, only went to 53 in Britain. Later, Motown songwriters Holland Dozier Holland were credited with co-writing the song due to its resemblance to the Junior Walker hit, I'm a Road Runner. Okay. Steve Winwood. I always like this stuff. I got a couple of things in my magic music stick. Yeah, let's see. Birthday list includes Terry Crews. Terry Crews is 56. Hashtag MeToo silence breaker. Don't know what that is. Better known.
Office linebacker.
No. See, I got I said the same thing, and then I double checked myself. And guess what? Coming up, you'll be happy to know that there's a slight difference. Terry Crews is 56. Hashtag MeToo silence breaker, better known as Hail Caesar in the Expendables movies and the star of those weird Old Spice commercials. Now, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, one of my favorite commercial series of all time is Office linebacker Terry Tate. Well, it's not Terry Crews, it's Terry Tate, Office linebacker. And I actually looked it up, and Terry Tate's real name, that's the actor's name. The actual actor who plays Terry Tate, the Office linebacker, not Terry Crews, his real name is Lester Specht. Or Spiked, S-P-E-I-G-H-T. Specht, maybe, I don't know. But Terry Tate, Office linebacker, is one of the greatest commercial series of all time. And if you don't know, you got to Google it if you don't know what it is. So anyway, Terry Crews is 56. I did not look up how old Terry Tate was, or his actual name. And also, Flounder, if you will, as a little boy, I never missed this sound on my TV set. The silence was deafening. Never.
What time is it? Okay, gang, let's go. It's howdy doody time. It's howdy doody time.
Oh my God!
Smith and howdy do. Say howdy do to you.
Oh my God! 1998.
Howdy doody do. It's time to
The old children's studio audience days in the 50s. In 1998, Buffalo Bob Smith of the Howdy Doody Show passed away, cancer in Hendersonville, North Carolina. He was 80 years old. And I think that was with Clarabelle. And was that Princess Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring? I think that was Howdy Doody had Princess Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring. Oh,
that
my
was
God.
20 years before I was born.
Oh, I know, but the funny thing was, you may remember this, Princess Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring the actual actress who played her, lived in North Atlanta, in like at Alpharetta or Woodstock or someplace, and she actually used to listen to my show in the afternoons in the 90s. And she called, I know it's true, we actually called in and people knew, I mean, it was unbelievable. And that's, in fact, I'll bet you if you have a certain age, if I asked you the 4 seasons, if you are of a certain Flounder, in fact, I'll do it with you. If I were to say, name the 4 seasons of the year, what would you say?
Fall, spring, summer, and winter.
All right, Pete Davis, what would you say?
I'd be spring, summer.
No, you wouldn't, you liar. Everybody in America would say summer, fall, winter, spring, because that's her name, the Princess Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring. And if you ask people of a certain age to name the seasons of the year, they say, oh, summer, fall, winter, spring.
Yeah, that age is just under the sea.
Well, give me a little side. That's all I got. That's why these little memories of happiness is all I got. I go home to an empty house. I have to live with my thoughts. It's a nightmare. Anyway, 4:23, our 4 o'clock hour, sponsored by our good friends at Atlanta Safe House. You need a safe, silly. Learn from the Kimmer. In fact, gun safes, pistol safes, jewelry safes, you got them all. Keep your stuff locked up and safe. Learn more of their warehouse. Their showroom is in Ackworth, and they're on the web at atlantasafehouse.com. Please say hi to Jeff and Mark and the whole group. 4:23, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Facebook is saying, well, we made that. We did a mistake there for you. That was not that good. Users across X, Twitter, sharing reports that Facebook accounts were labeling the image of Donald Trump with the famous fist in the air as an altered photo. Explaining it, independent fact checkers reviewed a similar photo, said it was altered in a way that could mislead people. This was the famous assassination attempt photo. The director of Meta Public Affairs said it was done in error as the systems were meant to detect a separate version of the image. The fact check initially applied to a doctored photo showing the Secret Service agent smiling, and in some cases our systems incorrectly applied the fact check to the real photo. It's been fixed. We apologize for the mistake. Well, election manipulation here. Yeah, they say stuff like this, but how come it always happens? How come it always only happens to Republicans and conservative candidates, and it only happens on social media things that are responsible for fixing elections? Gee.
One way.
Isn't that kind of ironic? The website autocomplete feature omitted references to the assassination attempt and recommended search results like going to Ronald Reagan. I mean, come on, what more do you want with these people? By the way, the Babylon Bee says there's a new Google homepage honoring the life of sharpshooter Thomas Crooks, which would be hideous. Anyway. Vice President side pieces in Atlanta visiting, and again, Flounder just said got the word that she now this is only Tuesday, so I guess she's coming back Saturday for a rally, and at the same convention center, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are also going to be in Atlanta Saturday. Man, I wouldn't be driving downtown. Can you imagine the rolling roadblocks?
This is one of the key states when the upcoming election. I mean, it technically turned blue, but it's borderline red. So,
well, I mean, again, we were. Who knows? We got 2 liberal senators. I mean, we can't be called a red state anymore. The latest polls say, oh well, he's leading by 5 points. How could Donald Trump only be leading by 5 points in Georgia? So we are a toss-up. We are still a toss-up state. It's freaking scary. She's going to meet with Jamaincans for Justice, Uppity Broads United, Side Pieces for America. So meeting with the Fulton County Floozy, the DA's office. So that'd be kind of special. They're going after J.D. Vance. Here we go. Flounder, got a little soundbite here coming up. The morning political analyst people on MSNBC named Molly Jong Fast claimed that vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance just wants more white children. The host, Jonathan Lee-Meyer, I don't know, I don't watch these people, made a note of data suggesting that Americans are having fewer kids and want fewer kids. And he says, Molly, the stats are there. Anyway, Flounder, this was on MSNBC talking about J.D. Vance, and all he wants is more white children.
Stats are there. More and more Americans choosing not to have kids, which again emphasizes why J.D. Vance's comments about childless Americans, childless cat ladies, could be so politically damaging.
Well, so what's interesting is this natalism that comes from an authoritarian playbook, right? That there need to be more white children, right? That's the idea that there's, this is about great replacement theory, racism, right? This is what this is. So don't misunderstand it for him wanting more children. He wants a certain kind of, racist thing.
You bitch. I mean, seriously, what the hell are you talking about? And she says, attacking people for not having children is really cruel because some people can have children. Some people, want to have children and they can't and, they miss the window, So I think it's really just a terrible way to go to other people. Yeah, you freaking scumbag. Good God. Of course, the guy didn't push back. For the record, hold on. I got some phone things here. I want to, my, I got so excited I forgot to, where did that come from? Oh, my God. Here we go.
Focus.
Okay. Both of J.D. Vance's a wife's parents, Usha, her name is, both of her parents are Indian. She is a first-generation American. Carmela's side piece has an Indian mother and a Jamaican father, but somehow nets out as an African-American, as black. They're obsessed with race and identity politics. The Democrats have dropped Biden, but make no mistake about it, Carmela's even more radical, proving the left once again makes things up and they can put it out there to see if it will stick. They have to drag color and ethnicity into it because they don't have anything else. The left will twist itself into knots to use the race card, which is quite weird. And another one, this is insultingly lazy on their part. Is every show on MSNBC, Democrat NBC, striving to be as abysmal as The View? There's no bar low enough for these people. I wonder if she knows that if she comes across as a complete loser. Childless cat lady has the sads. Democrats just say words. Facts are stubborn things. I mean, the nerve of these people. I mean, she actually said these words. Attacking people for not having children is really, no, before that. What's interesting is this is the natalism that comes from an authoritarian playbook, that there need to be more white children. That's the idea that there's, this great replacement theory racism. Don't misunderstand it. For him wanting more children, he wants a certain kind of racist thing. You snotty, miserable hater. This
3 biracial kids.
Yeah. His wife is hardly white. And so their children are hardly white. Well, I mean, my God.
They're technically Caucasoid. They're technically Caucasoid.
Jeez. But, I mean,
only 3
the
races.
very idea for this woman to go on an international program that's, beamed all over the world, social media and everything else, to call him a racist for only wanting more white children in America. Again, these are the same people who claimed that we were racist because we didn't want all those little brown people coming across the border. And we were saying, no, hold on a minute. It's got nothing to do with race. You're trying to change the culture of America to get more needy Democrats to rely on the government to help them out, so they're going to vote to keep their goods and rights and their bailouts and stuff. When they come to America and get a free ride, they're going to keep voting for their free ride. You're just trying to get more Democrats into the country, and they did. They got, 18 million, they're saying now, in 4 years? Holy smokes. All right, it's 4:30. Kim, Repeat, and Flounder. So much more. 106.3. 404-741-1230. How you doing? How's your Tuesday?
It's time
time for your Georgia headlines, presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
The longest trial in Georgia history could come to an end this week. The 19-month-long YSL RICO trial is set to resume this morning with a new judge in place. Judge Paige Reese Whitaker will hear motions from the defense attorneys of Young Thug and 5 co-defendants as to why the trial should be dismissed. Judge Whitaker will decide whether to grant a mistrial or continue with the case. Vice President Harris will hold a rally today in downtown Atlanta as she makes her case for the office of the presidency. The vice president's campaign announced they will bring people to the rally with a special guest, Megan Thee Stallion. Stallion posted on Instagram that she will be performing at 7:30. Donald Trump is also expected to campaign in Georgia this week. Final plans have not been made, but the former president is expected to be in Georgia on Saturday.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow XTRA 106.3 on social media or download the XTRA 106.3 app.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road, and with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth has it for you. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4, or the Subaru Forester, the SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where the adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com or come visit us today on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth. We're Subaru of Gwinnett.
Self-employed in 2021, you may be entitled to up to $32,220 in COVID tax relief. At smartSETC.com, our ex-IRS auditors leverage credentialed knowledge to help you understand your claim with no upfront costs. Don't miss out on this opportunity to maximize the claim you're entitled to. Take our short eligibility quiz at smartSETC.com now. That's smartSETC.com.
It's that time of year again when the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, Chuck, brings back the 4th annual Christmas in July, benefiting Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Hey, it's Tug for Central Heating and Air Conditioning. If you want to help give back to the community, all you have to do is sign up for a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 from every new maintenance agreement will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. The more maintenance agreements you sign up for, the bigger and better we can make the 4th annual Christmas in July for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Central services all makes and models. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. So call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com to sign up for a maintenance agreement and help Chuck and Central Heating and Air give back to the community. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to the Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on XTRA 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
I got now 434. Kim repeating. Flounder. David Bowie. 1987. David Bowie kicked off the North American leg of the Glass Spider Tour at the Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The tour's set, described at the time as the largest touring set ever, was designed to look like a giant spider. It was 60 feet high, 64 feet wide, and a single set took 43 trucks to move it to each city. Mercy. David Bowie. Well, we see, in fact, if you don't know what it's like, a couple times, well, maybe not a couple times a week, but frequently here at the Battery, right next door to us, is that theater, and you can see all the big vans and trucks are all parked all over the place. When these guys come in to do a concert, man, they've got trucks. I mean, their vans are all over the place, and, it's a big-time Charlie deal. Anyway, in fact, I've got 4 concerts in the next 5 days at my amphitheater down the street from where I live. Yeah, that'd be great. In fact, we got Prevail and Hailstorm. I don't know who that is coming up. Cage the Elephant. I've heard of them. I don't know what it is. Bret Michaels after that. And then the next day is Limp Bizkit. So I've got 4 days out of the next 6. I've got, that's going to be great. Birthdays include, well, if you don't mind, my father, Gene R. Peterson. The greatest man who ever lived, actually, and just an incredible fellow. My father would have been 106 years old today, and the same day was also born our firstborn in the family of the children, my older brother, Gene the second, who would have been 80 years old today as well. And Yvonne Yastrovsky is 42. She was Serena Joy on Handmaid's Tale. She was Hannah McKay, the poisoner killer on Dexter. A large hot blonde, tall hot blonde. Kate Morgan on 24 Live Another Day, and CIA agent Sarah Walker on the NBC spy comedy Chuck. Yvonne Strahovski is 42 years old today. And on this day in history, 2001, Marilyn Manson sexually assaulted an Ozfest security guard by wrapping his legs around the guy and rubbing his genitalia on the poor guy's head. The charge was later reduced to disorderly, disgusting conduct. Wasn't Marilyn Manson the one who abused that little blonde girl who was in that Yul Brynner movie, Take Off on the Fake People Who Shoot? You go on vacation and shoot automatic. Westworld, yeah. And who was that little blonde girl? She was in that series. I can't remember her name.
Evan Rachel Wood.
Evan Rachel Wood, yeah. And didn't she say that? Wasn't she the one that he was abusing?
I think so.
I don't know whether that turned her lesbian, but she, I think, has been very clearly heterosexual, and I believe I could be because of that. Anyway, I don't know. So that's Marilyn Manson.
Well, that would do it. Sleeping with him.
That would definitely do it. 437, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Okay, a couple things. This is rather bizarre. Again, it shows, I wonder who really is running things right now and why they let President Joe pervert out of the House. President Scumbag has called House Speaker Mike Johnson an unusual phrase after a weird reaction with a reporter. Biden, as you know, is calling on Congress to change the Supreme Court. This is anarchy. This is a guy who's trying to change the very nature of America and the Supreme Court by changing term limits and just overhauling the United States Supreme Court, radically overhauling their Supreme Court. He wants to so-called tilt the balance of power and erode the rule of law. No kidding. Well, the Louisiana Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, said the proposal is the logical conclusion to their administration and congressional Democrats' ongoing efforts to delegitimize the Supreme Court. Their calls to expand and pack the court will soon resume. Now, when a reporter asked Joe Biden for his response to all this when he arrived in Austin, Texas, Biden said this. Mr. President, House Speaker Johnson says your Supreme Court reform is dead on arrival. What's your reaction, sir? Biden responded, who said that? The guy said, Speaker Johnson said it's dead on arrival. The president then responded, well, I think that's what he is. The journalist asked, what do you mean? That's what he is, he said. And Biden doubled down and said, that he is dead on arrival. Okay, well, I don't really quite understand exactly what that means, but he did clarify, admitting later that he forgets things and just is kind of walking around because he doesn't know where he is, and he's glad that Carmel is taking place. But now we have a whole nother one. Check this out.
Well, wait a minute. Before you do that one, imagine if Trump, when he was president, said that Nancy Pelosi would be dead on arrival.
Yeah, that's what she is, dead on arrival. Yeah, again, I hadn't even thought about it because I don't think that way. But that's what. But you're right, absolutely right. If you take almost anything that happens in politics with these Democrats' outrageous behavior, if it had been Donald Trump or any Republican, Reagan, anybody, they would have gone ballistic, and they would have said, "Well, man can't operate. What's he doing outside?"
He's threatening.
That's a perfect point. And then I love it when we're going to do a soundbite here of the Mr. Mumbleface here, Flounder, in a second. I love it when Juanita Broderick, she was the one that Bill Clinton raped. And Juanita Roderick pops up on X and Twitter all the time on my phone. And she's on X Twitter now, pointing out that President Pervert Child Killer calls himself a former president when he was talking about the Supreme Court, and he mumbled it. He made a mistake by actually saying he's a former president. Flounder, if you will, sir.
No president, no former president, not me, not one, not one should have been given any exception to this.
Okay. All right. Hold on a second. Actually, in the tweet, here's what the tweet says. Joe Biden, quote, and no president, no former president, not me, not one, haven't given the blurts and bigagigi given an explanation. Oh, my God. And the yelling, when did he say the last couple of sentences? What actually was he saying? This guy has a finger on the nuclear codes. He should just stay put inside the White House. The fact that Carmela went along with this cover-up of this coup shows me she's an elder abuser. Another, Biden should host a clinic on how to power through a stroke while giving a speech. I mean, it's just one mumble after another. And this isn't stuttering. This is, he doesn't know what he's saying. He just, his thoughts are mumbled and scrumbled. Oh, my God. Well, okay.
And she hid it. She covered it up. She knew it, and she hid it and covered it up. They lied to the whole nation.
Well, I don't know how long they're going. I'm nervous that all of a sudden this business where the polls are coming out that they're basically 50-50. And I know this is honeymoon period. They always, tend to support the person. If not, now the Democrats are going to rally. But this is all a bunch of crap. They don't support her or like her or trust her, but they'll do it just because they hate Donald Trump. Let's
hope Chicago becomes an absolute melee during the convention.
I can't see anything other. I mean, that the Jew haters are going to be everywhere. I mean, holy cow, especially if we get involved. And now, in fact, there's just a new story that Israel attacked the guy who was responsible for murdering the children at the attack on the soccer field. And Israel struck back. And man, this is not going to get any better in the next few weeks when they held their Democrat conventions coming up in August, which is in, 2 days? In August, anyways, in 2 days. Also, speaking of woke people, the University of Auburn has now dissolved its Office of Inclusion and Diversity after the Governor Kay Ivey signed a law banning DEI programs and the teaching of certain divisive concepts. They have until October 1st to ensure they're in compliance, and it goes into effect August 15th. No more Office of Inclusion and Diversity. The staff members will be reassigned to other departments or vacant roles. Auburn saw a 43% increase in underrepresented graduate school applicants after they put the program in effect. Well, no kidding. It's an invitation to say, hey, you never qualified before, but by God, you're going to qualify now. Oh, okay, get those applications in. That's exactly what happens. No kidding, it went up by more than 40%. And they all got in all of a sudden. Oh, man, that's not good. That's not an accomplishment. It's lowering the bar to make your program worth less. I mean, God.
I didn't know Auburn had like a bar.
Good point. 444, fuck you, Flounder. We got these tweets, and we got memes and tweets, and we got Pete, so we got a whole thing called Pete's Tweets.
California Governor Gavin Newsom tweets, manipulating a voice in an ad should be illegal. I'm signing a bill in a matter of weeks to make sure it is. To which Elon Musk tweeted back, I checked with renowned world authority Professor Sugon D's Nuts, and he said parody is legal in America. Professor D's Nuts. Sugon. Joel Berry tweets, in a sane, humane world, Trump would be on every late-night talk show and every morning show talking about how it felt when the bullet went through his ear, showing off a scar and laughing with the hosts. But we live in an insane, inhuman world in which Trump must not be humanized.
I hadn't thought about that. Think about that. How is it possible that everybody's not clamoring for him to be on their show? And just talk about the human effect of it. Yeah, I know. It would help.
Propaganda.
It would help.
They're all propagandists.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party is calling the Republicans racist while at the same time holding white men and white women only Zoom calls. No people of color allowed.
Yeah. Did you hear some of the comments of those girls who were on, white girls for...
that crazy teacher. She used to be a teacher, and she's like Miss Frazzled or something now. You talk about a Valley girl from 1984, Sherman Oaks Galleria, pretending to be an influencer. She has 1.5 million followers, and she's dumber than a post, and she talks down to adults like they're 5-year-old kindergartners, like it's romper room.
Yeah.
And she's got 1.5 million following this idiot.
Flounder?
I was going to say, I actually have some audio from the White Dudes for Kamala Zoom. This is the actor Josh Gad.
Oh, goody.
I'm not sure if you guys can recall that feeling you had on the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. I stood over my kid's bed and I wept. I wept because I felt like I let them down. I wept because they had the chance, and we had the chance, to have a female president for the first time in our lives and in
that's the
history
key,
of this
female?
nation. And instead, we put a man in office who not only disdains women, but whose own wife can't look him in the eye.
Oh, my God. These people.
What a lion.
And by the way, he said it's about, finally a chance for a female president. That's the way you would want to vote for because she's a girl?
What she looks like.
Good Lord. And by the way, coming up, Carmela says what she wants to do with our guns. Standing by, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 447 on 106.3. Look out.
Breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is XTRA 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on XTRA 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Julia owed the IRS thousands.
I was paralyzed with fear.
Then
I heard a commercial for Optima Tax Relief.
Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and experts in the Fresh Start Initiative.
Optima Tax Relief settled my IRS tax bill.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
It was amazing.
Call 800-467-2766. 800-467-2766.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And now this dramatic pause. Oh, he tried to trick the camera. Like, oh, man, 450.
I just fired off the wrong one.
That's all right. They'll never know. The Trogs. 1966. Yeah, baby. Yeah, what do you think? Talk to me. There it is.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
Dun, 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 dun.
But I want to know for sure.
That was on this day, 1966. And Trog started a 2-week run at number 1. Wild Thing. Because of a dispute over distributing the thing, the Trogs single was available on 2 competing labels, Alco and Fontana. Both pressings were taken from identical master recordings. Billboard combined the sales for both releases, making it the only single to simultaneously reach number 1 for 2 different companies. That's pretty funny. Silly rabbit. Let's see. Birthday list includes Delta Burke, 68 years old. Suzanne Sugarbaker on Designing Women. Is she a local gal? Do I remember that correctly? Delta Burke?
She's from Mississippi, I believe.
Okay. Well, who was one? The Georgia girl was the other one married to the guy who was the commander on the U-boat over in North Korea? Actor.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. Delta Burke is 68. Suzanne Sugar.
Dixie.
Yeah, Dixie. What's her name? Was the Georgia girl, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Dixie, somebody or other. And I was so close.
Hal Holbrook.
Hal Holbrook was the commander of the U-2 boat or the submarine, whatever. I know.
Mark Twain.
It wasn't submarine. And Mark Twain. Yeah, and he's a very, very famous actor. He did a million things.
Saw him at the Fox.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. On this day in history, I thought I had one here I was going to do. Oh, here we go. Excuse me. Is the year 1619. It was the first assembly of elected representatives for the new colonies. They called it the House of Burgesses, and it was done in Jamestown, Virginia, on this day in 1619, the first assembly of elected representatives for the colonies. 1619. And it was about a year after that when most of the colonies started outlawing slavery, by the way, for this racist country of ours. 452. Holy smokes. Founder, do we have this okay with this thing? Just came in. Pete's got a story here. Let's do a little flashback. Remember, if this vice president side piece, the shiftless and lazy vice president, who's accomplished nothing, the so-called border czar that let in 18 million people, she believes in having all of the illegal immigrants become American citizens. She believes that every illegal invader in this country right now should get free education and free health care. She believes in keeping the borders open, letting them all in, making them American citizens. And remember what she's going to do, she said, if she gets an administration in her control, here's what she's going to do within the first 100 days of her term.
Adding to your gun control agenda? Yeah, I think it's a great idea. But I mean, listen, I don't think we lack for great ideas. As I've said many times, we've been having great ideas for decades. The problem is that Congress has not had the courage to act. And that is why, from the beginning, I have said my agenda includes attempting to get Congress to act, but if they don't within the first 100 days of my administration, I'm going to take executive action. Because what we need is action.
Well, it's kind of hard to understand. She promises to take executive action to confiscate firearms in the first 100 days of her term, seizing the guns in a bloodless coup. She thinks it'll be a bloodless coup. They don't understand maybe how many millions of Americans view the Second Amendment slightly differently. Yeah, bullets first. Yeah, here's my guns.
Largest standing militia in the world, about 90 million of us. But keep pushing.
Good Lord. I mean, again, all Donald Trump had, as much as they hate him, I really don't think Mr. and Mrs. Middle America and all the ships at sea really would want this woman in control of our future.
Will they hear what she stands for is the question. Will we ever get the word out to these people?
You know, how could a news director or a executive producer or the CEO of a company that's a media company in any good conscience not understand what's at stake here after what just happened in the last 4 years on the false premises that this guy's not going to hurt anybody because just as an old guy is going to get us back to normal. And clearly that didn't work, and everybody knew it wouldn't work, but, you know, we've hopefully learned a lesson, but still, I just can't believe that these polls are even close.
And how far are we going to keep doing this? Okay, she'll be the first black woman. Now we'll have to get the first gay in there. Then we'll have to be the first gay of color. We'll have to get the first armless person in there, the first person who rides around in a jet-powered car. So, how many firsts do we have to go through before we say, why don't we get the best person?
Well, the first tranny. I'm surprised there isn't, somebody, trannies for America, or someone who's, hell, Bruce Jenner. Obviously, I mean, someone who's going to, at some point.
I'd vote for him.
Well, I'd vote for him over her.
Yeah.
I would definitely vote for Bruce Jenner way first over Carmela. I guarantee you I would. And I wonder how many Republicans would vote for Bruce Jenner over Donald Trump.
Well, we don't care what you look like. We just want to know what's going on. Like the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, the content of your character, not the color of your skin.
Oh, in fact, I had the story yesterday. I didn't get to it. The King Foundation. And by the way, whatever happened to Marty and Dexter, Marty Jr.? Anyway, the King Foundation has now gone to a whole thing to raise $100 million to improve the King Center and get more expressions out of the message of the Martin Luther King Center to the world. $100 million? And I'm thinking to myself, there's not one Democrat leader in this country who believes in Martin Luther King Jr.'s philosophy. Not one.
Not one.
Content of your character, not the color of your skin or your gender or your... I mean, seriously, not one. Not our senators, not anybody, not any Democrat in this state, in fact, in this nation, not one Democrat leader truly believes in Martin Luther King Jr.'s philosophy. Not one. And they can't back out of it now because they've said it out loud. We're so proud we got the first woman. We got to get the best woman we can find. I mean, they said it. They did it.
They don't even get the best woman they can find.
I know. I mean, that's the other thing. Katanji Bippity Boppity Boo's the best Supreme Court justice. And Carmela's the best black female in America, or the best female in America to be vice president or president.
You can go online on Twitter and find 1,000 smarter black women to do this job.
I know. Business people, success people. Unbelievable. Anyway, at 5:50, I don't think he's looking at doing so. We have time for a little something? Oh, here we go. Flounder's fun.
Actually, I believe there's so many things women can do better than guys. Women can do things. Here's one example that I was at the mall with my nephew babysitting. I'm just walking through the mall, and a woman I didn't know pulled up a knee. She goes, "Is that your son?" I go, "No, it's my nephew." And she without any hesitation, she says, "He is adorable. What's your name?" "You are so cute. Marcus, when you turn 18, I'm coming back for you. You're a little heartbreaker. Save him for me. He's so cute." And she walked away. Went back to shopping. I challenge any man in this room. Any guy, go to the mall, just approach a woman you don't know. "Is that your niece? Can I have a word with her, please?" Wow, when you turn 18, I'm coming back for you. Save her for me. That's a good one. You don't get to walk out of the mall. They escort you out of the
Who's that, Flounder?
That is Mr. K. Vaughn.
K. Vaughn. Well done, K. Vaughn. By the way, a story popping out this morning. I don't know really what to make of it, but it's supposedly a breakthrough for baldness. A research team in England and in Pakistan were studying how naturally occurring sugars of deoxyribonucleose, a certain kind of deoxyribose, could heal wounds. They put it on lab mice and noticed that the fur around their lesions with this stuff grew rapidly. Fascinated, they took an investigation further, applied a small dose of sugar to the mice with testosterone-driven hair loss, and helped them form new blood vessels relating to growing their hair better. So they're saying this some kind of sugar gel is just as good as minoxidil or inoxidil, whatever it is, and Rogaine, and they're thinking maybe this is a thing. How is it possible they haven't come up with a cure and some medicine to make sure the men will never go bald? I mean, seriously, how is it possible? They would be a trillionaire. How is it possible there's not a company that does nothing but investigate how to give you hair? Anyway, it's coming up at 5 o'clock. Holy crap, it's sports, Olympics, we got it all. And politics and Secret Service stuff. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How you doing?
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
It's not clear yet if he's dead or alive. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. A senior Hezbollah commander targeted by a rare Israeli airstrike in Beirut as retaliation for Saturday's rocket attack that killed 12 children and teens in the Golan Heights.
Senior officials that we've talked to tonight in Tel Aviv say this overall strike was not about sending the country into a broader war, but rather about sending a message to Hezbollah that the attacks over the border must end. Even earlier tonight, there were more rockets and drones just before this strike took place.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. The State Department says there are no plans underway to evacuate American citizens from Lebanon. The White House says it still believes all-out war can be avoided. Vice President and presumptive presidential nominee Kamala Harris just telling reporters Hezbollah is a terrorist organization and Israel has the right to defend itself, while also calling for continued work on a diplomatic solution. The director of the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 has stepped down, with the group insisting the project has completed a goal for unified conservative vision. Though former President Trump has disavowed and criticized the effort as Democrats have tried to tie him to it, calling it an extreme agenda. The acting director of the Secret Service gets a Capitol Hill grilling over security failures in the Trump assassination attempt.
I went to the roof of the AGR building where the assailant fired shots, and I laid in a prone position to evaluate his line of sight. What I saw made me ashamed.
Ronald Rowe telling a Senate hearing he can't defend why that roof was not better secured. But as the investigation continues, also pushed back on some lawmakers' calls to start firing people quickly for accountability. Police in England clashing with a crowd outside a mosque near where 3 young girls were stabbed to death in a dance class. The suspect is a 17-year-old boy. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? The sound of your antique fountain pen gliding across linen paper as you journal in the park. And if you were here, you'd be inspired by the warm breeze. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the wind in your face on the road is all the inspiration you need. So if you ride, get a quote and see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Now that's inspiring. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of leg. Ready on your dog, target. Road guards out. Stand by. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. How you doing? 503 on 106.3. Here's the number, 404-741-1230. 741-1230. We got a whole bunch of stuff today, including the Secret Service stuff, also presidential stuff and campaigning stuff. Apparently, Donald Trump and Vice President Carmela Sidepiece, the shipless and lazy border czar, are both going to be campaigning this coming Saturday at the same place at Georgia. Was it Georgia State or Georgia Tech? Georgia State, I think. The campus area, convention center, convocation center, I think they call it. Anyway, so we got politics and we got stuff and we got Flounders Funnies and we got holy crap, it's sports and about Olympic things and this woman who now complains that they're after her because of what she did and she freaking deserves it. But first to the phones, taking priorities. Porter's on the line. We used to work with a guy named Porter. It was a sales guy. Hey, Porter, how you doing? Is that you? He's gone. No, double check. Is he still there? I wonder. Are we on the delay? Maybe he might have left.
Oh, he's right. He's here.
Well, I don't hear anything. Porter, you with me?
I'm here.
There you go. Welcome aboard, sir. How's it going? What's up?
Yeah, look, little ditty for you. We made up when we were kids. It's howdy doody time. It isn't worth a dime. So turn to Channel 9 and watch Frankenstein.
You know, isn't it just the little silly things you do as kids? And I remember, in fact, my parents once put me on one of those. It was a local TV show where there's a local broadcaster and there's little kids in the audience, Schenectady, New York or something. And, and took pictures of all the stuff of the little clown and everything. Good Lord. That was such a simpler time, I guess.
Waiting for the ice cream truck was a big
Mom, it's the ice cream man. One of my biggest thrills was when I was an adult and I was involved with a certain woman, and I would go to visit, and she lived in a neighborhood where there was a whole bunch of kids, and they were still doing the ice cream man. And whenever the ice cream man came along, I would pay for all the kids to get their ice cream. So they all knew it because they knew when I was going to be around, and it was just such a treat to see the smile and the joy of, I want that fudgicle, or I want to get this. So anyway, simpler times.
Right on.
Thanks, Port. Thank you. Semper Fi, my friend. 506, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And on this opening ceremony. Oh, by the way, we haven't given a lot of facts. And Pete, I don't know whether are you going to give results at Holy Crap of Sports in about 15 minutes or 10 minutes or so?
A little bit, yeah. A few.
You kind of almost have to for one kind of a congratulatory thing, I think, probably. But anyway, we'll warn you in advance if you wait to see. And again, I guess what they put on at night has already been done because of the time change. But I don't know if all the events, I think some of them are all live, depending on what it is.
Only 5 or 6 hours ahead of us, right?
Yeah. So I think some of the events are live, but I'm not sure because of, I don't know about when they start them. Anyway, I saw some of the eventing with the horses and stuff like that. I don't want to talk about it now. And I did see a little bit of the gymnastics. And again, I was actually touched about they did kind of one of those personal stories, like an Olympic story, of a guy named Brody Malone from Cedartown, and it was very touching. It was very, very touching, and he nailed his event on the pommel horse. And it was very, very touching, and I'm glad he did it. And the men, we mentioned it yesterday, the men's team won the first medal at the Olympics in 16 years or something, so which is nice. All right, 507, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And that woman DJ person, Barbara Butch, has now had her lawyer send some letters and accusations and the police to be investigating the fact that this Butch woman says she's been threatened with death, torture, and rape, and the target of numerous anti-Semitic, homophobic, sexist, and grossophobic insults. If you just joined us, I had no idea. I've never seen or heard the word grossophobic, and Pete had to look it up. Apparently, it's the fear of fat people.
Yeah.
That's a thing? Are there really people who are afraid? Okay, so let me get this straight. So you're walking down the street and then you see a really fat person and you, run away or you start crying or call a cop? I don't understand this. What do you mean you're afraid of fat people? They can't chase you. You just, walk faster.
You're at the buffet and you're in the line.
Well,
and there's one in front of you and there's one wing left.
And there's another one.
You ain't getting that wing.
Another one coming in the door. It's time to boogie. I'd upload his joint. Seriously, grossophobic insults. She calls herself a love activist, and she complains that she was a target of extremely violent campaign of cyber harassment and defamation. She said, "Whatever some people say I exist, I've never been ashamed of who I am. I take responsibility for everything, including my artistic choices." Well, then you should have known exactly what was going to happen. Seriously, all of a sudden she's upset. And by the way, the authorities are going to be investigating. Her lawyer says, "We're coming after anybody. Legal complaints will be filed regardless of whether they were committed by French nationals or foreigners, and we intend to prosecute anyone who tries to intimidate her, period." This is, and she's honored to be part of it. She did this on purpose. She thought she was so special to the world that she said, "I'm going to do this to show what I believe is to be the truth of what our society should be like these days," and she had the balls to try to think that she was so much above everybody else that the world would love her for it. And you can't tell me that this was not unexpected. And I mentioned the analogy earlier. It's like walking through, like Mel Gibson in the movie. It's like you're walking through, a gangbanger's neighborhood at night with $1,000 bills hanging out of your pocket, saying, "I hate all you black people." My God, what is she expecting was going to happen?
No. This is to intimidate anybody from daring ever criticizing them. This is what this is. This is, like lawfare, basically.
And again, I just, you can do whatever you want, but when you start shoving it down our throats, you heathen, it's, it might as well have Sodom and Gomorrah hosting the next Olympic Games. I mean, when you try to push this on people, it's just not. It's about time people stood. Wait a minute. Again, I'm sorry that your little feelings are hurt, but the fact of the matter is, finally people are saying, wait a minute, to stop this momentum of this wokeness and gender stuff and tranny stuff and grooming stuff and not telling your family. California just passed a law where the school people are not allowed to tell the parents if their kids want to change their genders. I mean, what's going on here?
It reminds me of Ricky Gervais where he's interviewing a fat guy, and he goes, "Yeah, I got kicked out of the all-you-can-eat buffet." And he goes, "Why?" Because I was going there for lunch and dinner. And Gervais says, "You were going there twice a day?" And he said, "No, I was there lunch through dinner."
You go now. You too much.
You eat too much.
No shrimp for you. Oh, Lord. I mean, this is unbelievable. And by the way, Babylon Bee had an appropriate headline, a picture of a World War II soldier, weary and dirty and tired. And it says, D-Day soldier blissfully unaware that France will one day open Olympics with a naked blue Smurf demon. Yeah, some tribute to the D-Day, freeing France from the Nazi horde. I mean, good Lord. And they do this for the Olympics. I mean, we've all said it. And of course, the Olympics, here we go. We have now anti-Semitic protesters chanting Heil Hitler when the Israeli soccer team took on Paraguay and then lost, but they were shouting Heil Hitler and they were showing the Palestinian flag. They were calling it the Genocide Olympics, and finally they got kicked out of the stadium. But again, I mean, anti-Semitism, police are launching an investigation. 3 Israeli athletes have been given death threats. So all the Israeli athletes now have 24-hour security and protection. They're escorted everywhere they go. I mean, here we go. It's just outrageous. After 72 in Munich. Anyway.
They forget. They don't teach history anymore, and people forget. They think things are okay again.
Yeah. I mentioned that actress Bella Hadid is a Palestinian actress, and her company, the German company Adidas, had her model some shoes to commemorate the 52nd anniversary of the 1972 Munich Olympics. And then she found out, I didn't know anything about that because the Munich Olympics, of course, Palestinians slaughtered those Israeli athletes in the COP. And she said, I didn't know anything about that. How could you have not known anything about the 72 Olympics if you're a Palestinian and you're the German Olympic? I mean, come on, please, you're killing me. So, I mean, these freaking people. All right, 5:13. Well, luckily, Holy Crap at Sports from a whole different perspective is coming up. And Thursday, we get to watch the Braves again. I guess it's official. If they inked it, I think it maybe.
You do.
Maybe I. Of course, you've been doing it all along, sure. Well, thank God for high tech. All right, 5:13. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Look out. There we go.
Atlanta radio legends collide on XTRA 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the XTRA 106.3 app.
We've all heard it before. Buy one, get one Windows. 10% off if you call today. $500 off if you sign tonight. But are these really a special? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't fall for it. It's exhausting trying to keep up with all the fake specials being offered. And we all say the same thing. We're all licensed, we're all insured, we all have 5-star reviews. At Exovations, we want to earn your business the right way. But don't take our word for it. Let us show you why we say we are different from other contractors. To find out what it means to have an on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation, call me today at 770-205-2995 or online at exovations.com. That's exovations.com.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Well, Sally, thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
But why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and we saw some red flags.
Like what?
Apparently, you were accused of dog-napping a Chihuahua named Mr. Cha-Cha.
Mr. Cha-Cha was my soulmate.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
All right, look out. Here we go. Our 5 o'clock hour, sponsored by Lee Brandt Jewelers. I thought to mention them again a little later on since we just did. At 5:17, coming up, the steamy Olympic kiss. Holy smokes. And speaking of holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
You got to remind Flounder, now we have a camera up. We can see what he's doing during commercials. I'm just saying.
We can, but we got to put him on YouTube. We got to get him on YouTube.
Yeah, that would be funny. Put him on YouTube. The Braves are getting the band back together.
Yes.
Late last night, they traded Tyler Matzik, a minor leaguer, to the Giants for World Series MVP Jorge Soler. Jorge will likely play the corner outfield positions and maybe even lead off like he did back in 2021, and that seemed to work back then, if you remember. Yeah. They also got former Braves reliever Luke Jackson in the trade. Everybody loves Luke. Soler was hitting .240 with 12 homers, a .749 OPS, but don't worry, he was hitting just .190 with 13 dingers and a .655 OPS when the Braves got him from the Royals in 21. He hadn't played much outfield that year either, but he turned out to win the World Series for him. The trade deadline is in a few minutes at 6 o'clock, so there's still time for other things to happen. There's a lot of stuff going on. No real superstars, but some very, very good players. Baltimore is cleaning out. They got 2 starters and everything. They're doing very well. The Braves lost last night in Milwaukee 8-3, but Grant Holmes' first career start was a successful one in front of his daddy, too. Holmes allowed 1 run. It recorded 8 strikeouts over 5. Exited with a 2-1 lead, but Jesse Chavez couldn't hold it. Afterwards, Jesse was very upset about that. But Marcell Ozuna, a massive blast.
1-1 pitch. That is destroyed. Back to left field. 1-0 Braves. Boy, he dialed up the launch codes to get one up there. Good night.
All right, that's Ben Ingram on 6A The Fan. I love his calls.
Yeah,
he's getting better and better. It's amazing. Tonight, the 1-4 Bryce Elder for the Braves against the 2-4 Joe Ross, a right-hander. Jared Kelenic back in the leadoff spot against the Brewers tonight. Soler is not in the starting lineup. Great news, though, about Reynaldo Lopez. His MRI came up clean, so he should be back in action soon. In other news, the White Sox have now lost 15 in a row.
Oh, man.
Yeah. The Diamondbacks play-by-play man Steve Berthoum, the former ESPN host, had an embarrassing moment calling a game last night. A crowd shot on the TV showed a bunch of kids with one wearing a T-shirt that read, "I can't, I'm a moron."
I can't, I'm a moron.
I'm a moron.
Okay.
At least that's what Berthoum thought it said.
Uh-oh.
It actually said, "I can't, I'm a Mormon."
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Did they show the actual picture while he's saying I'm a moron?
So a bunch of white guys in short sleeve white shirts and ties will be arriving at Steve's house later today
with
for
Bibles on their bicycle baskets.
For a great laying on of hands, I think they call it. This just in, the Paris Olympics have just declared all horsey activities no longer considered
now, just
a sport.
a damn moment.
All involved with this horse dancing farce have 24 hours to leave the country.
Is lying once again.
Leave the horse. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. And congrats to Simone Biles, who decided to stay for the entire Olympics this time. And despite an injured calf, led the Americans to the team gold in gymnastics, and Biles got her 5th gold. She's basically the best of all time, frankly. They beat off Italy and Brazil to win it, which you don't really think Italy and Brazil would be up to. You think it'd be the Japanese, Chinese, or something like that. Yeah. Maybe I got that wrong. It's not a good ending for American tennis star Coco Gauff, though. She lost her dream of gold. A bad call from the umpire, she says. She also said she got screwed during the French Open earlier this year. So France not doing
she
very
was
well
in
for
tears.
Coco.
She was crying like crazy that
mad.
she got screwed, as she thought. She was very upset about it. Too bad for her.
The U.S. men's soccer team is in the quarterfinals for the first time in 24 years. They shut out Guinea. They're now 2-1 so far. They lost to France, and they beat New Zealand, and they've beaten Guinea. Want to know how stupid the decision to leave Caitlin Clark off the U.S. women's basketball team has turned out to be?
Wow.
Team USA's win over Japan drew over 13,000 fans. That was the lowest attended game among the 6 matchups in group play. Spain-China drew over 27,000.
Wow.
So nobody wants to see the Americans play because she's not on the team.
Yeah.
It's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
As for the men, Joel Embiid is getting roundly booed for the French fans by not playing for France. Joel was born in Cameroon but got French citizenship 2 years ago. The French claim there was supposed to be a quid pro quo that he would play for France. But Joel also has American citizenship and said a big reason he chose us was because his son was born here and he's an American. Joel was asked what his reaction was to all the booing. He replied, quote, "Nothing. Like I said, I'm American. I play for Team USA," end quote.
Take that, monsieur.
Yes, yeah. So till we meet again, and the mystery is solved.
The donkey with me.
The monkey is a
Don't tell him what to do.
The monkey is a
Just tell me
businessman.
what to sing. It's up to play.
His teammates, Joel's, have joked that if they lose, they will make him hand over his passport and be left behind in gay parade.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm kidding. The Falcons have sold all their season tickets already. Congratulations to them. Yeah, people are excited.
Yes,
It's starting to build here a little bit.
Well, that quarterback business might be just the thing.
It better be exciting. I'm telling you, people are looking forward.
I've been reading about that star running back. They're going to start using him a lot more than they used to. Like the guy from Stanford who was the MVP with the running back, and he's also a catcher and everything else. My God,
you
man.
draft a running back high up, and then you actually use him during the season. It's just absolutely amazing.
I know. Yeah.
Owner Arthur Blank says they will put a competitive team on the field for you two, which is very nice of him, don't you think? They're going to put a competitive team out there. They signed 2 wide receivers today. Jesse Matthews and James Washington joined the 90-man roster. By the way, they had pads on today for the first time out in Flowery Branch. That must have been nice and warm for them out there. It was a little chilly out in Flowery Branch. Matthews, an undrafted free agent picked up by the Texans last year out of San Diego State. Go Aztecs. Washington is an NFL veteran of 5 seasons, first drafted by the Steelers in 2018 as a second-rounder. Best season, though, 5 years ago. To make room, they're releasing rookie receiver Isaiah Wooden and placing offensive lineman Tyler Vrabel on the reserve/retired list. On this day, July 30th, in sports history, 1965, the Milwaukee Braves manager Bobby Bragan said his pitchers threw 80 what pitches did they throw 80 times during the game?
What year is this?
1965.
Knuckleballs.
Spitballs.
Spitballs.
that had been outlawed for like 30 years or so by this point.
80% for spitballs.
They lost to the Giants. Bregan said he ordered his pitchers to throw the spitter to prove that the rules against them were not being enforced.
And by the way, I know we've talked about this before. I was a pitcher. You were. I don't know how to throw a spitball. And by the way, I always try to keep my hands cold, my hands dry,
It's
so I can grip the ball.
Imagine being the catcher and having to catch it and splat all the time.
No, I can't.
Tobacco juice when it used to be. No.
Rosin with slime. Oh, I don't think so.
Don Sutton used to complain about his infielders when there'd be a foul ball or something. They'd pick it up and throw it out. He'd go, "Don't you dare throw that ball out. If you throw that ball back to me, it could have a scuff or a cut on it or something. Come on."
There you go.
1969, the Braves homer 5 times. They beat the Phillies 6-3 in Game 1 of a doubleheader. Felipe Alou and Hank Aaron both homer. Bob Tillman hit 3 homers in a row. Aaron's homer is the 537th of his career. Who did that move him past on the all-time list?
Willie McCovey.
No.
Willie Mays.
No, not Willie Mays. No one named Willie. No one named Willie.
Wow, 500. Well, it had to. Oh my good. Well, maybe like DiMaggio or somebody.
I will tell you, 1969. He had just retired. He was a switch hitter.
Rusty Staub. No,
Rusty was just a lefty. And he never hit 500.
Not Joe Morgan. Who's that? I know who you're talking about.
Okay, think about this. Just retired in 69. Switch hitter.
Yeah, that's what I'm
played in the American League.
Yeah,
but not
Henderson.
for the Cardinals. And he's famous.
I know.
He's famous. He's not somebody like Rusty Staub. He's famous.
I know. It's not.
Le Grand Orange.
Oh, and Rusty Staub. Was a
I just told you it was not Rusty Staub.
I know.
You just said it was
Rusty Staub. I know this, and it's not coming. It's not coming out of my mouth. It's not.
Okay, he was a Yankee.
I know.
Famous. Just retired in 69. Switch hitter. Yankees.
Mickey
center
Mantle.
fielder. Mickey Mantle.
There you go.
Oh, my God.
I know. I'm sorry. I was going way back. I was going way back before that. Into the 50s.
Way back machine.
Oh, my
Sherman.
God. Red Shane Deans, for God's sake.
Red Shane Deans. Played for the Braves. Cardinals. That's sports.
Oh, well, it's not quite sports at all. We have so much more. In fact, our sports birthday list includes Hope Solo, the Olympic World Cup girl, the female goalkeeper. I don't think I liked her because didn't she get snotty because someone else, she wanted to be the goalkeeper and they had somebody else in there or something.
She had a little trouble with drinking and beating up on men.
Yeah, that's right. Hope Solo's 43. Yeah, we don't like her.
She's good looking, though.
Well, that's true.
Olivia Munn liked her.
On this day in 1982, the Atlanta Braves decide to stage kind of a minor trail of tears, removing Chief Nakahoma and his teepee to make room for more seats. 1982, and he was gone, yeah. 1970.
Wait a minute. You're bearing the lead.
All right.
They went on like a huge losing streak and fell out of first place until Ted put the thing back.
That's right, too. And by the way, what an incredible thing, having a teep. He was a star and a celebrity and kids. What a thing. What a thing.
Cute. Levi Walker.
Yeah.
Just passed.
1976, Bruce Jenner sets a world record in points to win the gold medal in the decathlon at the Montreal Olympics. Later would become a girl named Caitlin, but not a groomer. And I'd vote for him over the vice president's side piece. He's not a woman. 1959, I mentioned Willie McCovey. Well, on this day, Willie makes his major league debut in baseball. Willie McCovey, 1959, a first baseman with the San Francisco Giants against the Phillies. First game, major league debut, Willie McCovey goes 4 for 4. And Houston Astros pitcher J.R. Richards on this day in 1980 is warming up, playing a game of catch before a game. He suffers a stroke and collapses, and his career is done. J.R. Richards, a shame. That's 528. Can repeat and flounder. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Now, Flounder, do you want to do a little break here?
Sure, we can do that.
Instead of 5:30, we got Holy Crap, It's Sports is over, but we have Flounder's Funnies coming up and more of the latest news, including the steamy French president's kiss with a girl in public, and they're going, that was indecent, monsieur. Coming up next, Kim, Repeat, and Flounder, 529.
During the craziest election season we've ever experienced, you need a voice you can trust. Not headlines, not former shock jocks, but veterans, conservative leaders, and Atlanta talk radio legends.
This is the ball game. This is for all the marble. This is like
this for the country.
This is 8 years of turmoil.
Count on the conservative voice of Atlanta to bring you the biggest names in politics as this wild election season changes by the day. This is Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
All right, look out now. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 5:30. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Jeff and Mark are waiting for you at the Atlanta Safe House. They have that showroom in Ackworth, you know. You got to love these guys. This is a non-woke company. There was a scandal some time ago. Some other company decided to give out the master reset code to somebody who didn't deserve it. And I'm telling you this, Atlanta Safe House went nuts. They said, if you have a problem with anything, they will never do that to you. And if you have a safe that has a problem with the master reset code, whatever, get in touch with Mark and Jeff and the gang at Atlanta Safe House, and they'll take care of business for you. On the web, it's atlantasafehouse.com. Show them again in Ackworth, home of the Kimmer safes. And again, when I went to Florida, retired. Oh, in fact, I didn't have my medical record, so the VA said, take a hike. I just got this. And the VA is now asking me to do some more medical stuff, but it's not going to work because I don't have my stinking records. It's like they're hounding me to make me feel bad about it. Anyways, don't be like the Kimmer. Get your stuff and keep it safe. And by the way, you know, vacation time before they go back to school, if you're going to be leaving your house, your stuff will be safe. And incidentally, those big gun safes, I have a couple of those babies that are, you know, they're big and they're beautiful and they're really terrific. But they're not just empty, big holes inside of the big safe. They have compartments and shelving units and nooks and crannies and anything you want. They can design it any way you want, whatever you're looking for. Business safe, gun safe, jewelry safes, high security safes, pistol safes. Check those out too. These guys will take care of business, only using off-duty police, firefighters, and military to deliver your safe, so you know you can trust them in your house. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. It's Jeff and Mark and the gang at atlantasafehouse.com.
A musician with technical knowledge can play all the right notes, but one who cares enough to play from the heart gives music soul. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking, because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Self-employed in 2021, you may be entitled to up to $32,220 in COVID tax relief. At smartSETC.com, our ex-IRS auditors leverage credentialed knowledge to help you understand your claim with no upfront costs. Don't miss out on this opportunity to maximize the claim you're entitled to. Take our short eligibility quiz at smartSETC.com now. That's smartSETC.com.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, cpapsetc.com.
MyPillow is bringing you their most requested offer on their premium MyPillows. For a limited time, a queen-size premium MyPillow is now only $19.98 with a promo code BECK. MyPillow has always listened to their audience, one of the reasons they've been so successful. MyPillow is made with a patented adjustable fill to accommodate individual sleeping needs no matter your sleep position. The pillow keeps your neck aligned while keeping its best shape all night long. Their goal is to give you the best sleep of your life. And you'll find the deals on some of their other most loved products. For instance, their 6-piece bath towel sets are only $25, or their brand new mattress topper for as low as $69.98. And the best sheets you've heard me rave about before are as low as $25. So go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special square for huge discounts on MyPillow products, including the premium queen size MyPillow for $19.98. Remember, enter the promo code BECK. Call 800-966-3117 for these amazing limited time offers at MyPillow.com.
That little Beatles here for you there. Yeah, down to here. Sing a song. Come Together. Beatles, 1969, continued working on Abbey Road, recording overdubs of Come Together. Polythene Pam, she came in through the bathroom window. You Never Give Me Your Money, and Golden Slumbers Carried That Weight. The Beatles began to assemble the medley that would make up side 2 of the album. Paul McCartney told tape operator John Kurlander to discard Her Majesty. Kurlander tacked it onto the end of the tape about 20 seconds after the end of the end. And hearing it like that, Paul decides to keep it, including the lengthy silence that went before it. And the Come Together Abbey Road thing, I'll be damned. You know, I had no idea about all this background stuff of the Beatles. I really didn't. I just played, I was a teenager. I just, I want to hold your hand and She Loves You and, things like that. And that was all I needed to know, really.
Stick with us, kid. You're gonna learn a lot.
That's true. It's true. I didn't give a damn. I just loved the music. And I just wanted a girlfriend to put her tongue in my mouth and the whole thing with the thing there.
What is that got to do?
I don't know. Because it was the time. It was dancing and going to hops. And we'd all go to a friend's house and go to the basement in the game room, and the parents would let us, have beer if we were 18 or 17 or whatever, the teenagers kids. So they took care of everything, and it was just that was the time. It was the Beatles music and trying to get a girlfriend, and it was just that whole genre back then. Anyway, just happy memories. I'm just enjoying myself here. Sorry. Our birthday list includes Diva Zappa, Frank Zappa's youngest daughter. Diva is 45, sister of Moon Unit, Dweezil, and Ahmet Zappa. And Jamie Presley played Jill on Mom and Joy on My Name is Earl. Kind of a hottie. Jamie Presley's 47 years old today, the blonde chick. And on this, I get my phone open here because I got a double whammy on my history thing. Here we go. Yada-da. I was on this day in 1975, Jimmy Hoffa disappears. And by the way, I wrote down here, and I once thought I had stumbled upon the site where FBI agents were digging up his body, and then I realized I was thinking to myself, it was when I stumbled upon the FBI agents where I had my first horse up in Chicago, and I came back riding one day, and there was all these agents digging up somewhere, a part of the barn, and it turned out they were looking for the candy heiress Catherine Brock, who disappeared from many years ago. Anyway, Jimmy Hoffa disappeared in 1975. He had a lunch scheduled with Tony Provenzano, Tony Jack Giacalone, and a mafia captain at the Machus Red Fox restaurant south of Maple up by Detroit. He called his wife from a payphone and says, I've been stood up, and he was never heard from again. Although cold case investigators think they've located the site in Milwaukee near a ballpark stadium because a dying police officer scribbled instructions on the Ace of Spades playing card, helping them investigate the old site of the Milwaukee County Stadium, next to the current Milwaukee Brewers Stadium, where they believe Hoffa's body lies demolished under the third base line. Others, there have been like 3 or 4 different places where he's been buried, and no one's found him yet. And I assume they probably never will. But anyway, Jimmy Hoffa disappeared on this day, and who knows?
Well, that movie they had with Pacino a while back, and De Niro, I believe, they say they incinerated him. They put him in the fire, and he's gone.
Yeah, I assume that's so they would never, ever put acid bath or something, clearly. Anyway, holy cow, 5:38, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing? Our 5 o'clock hour sponsored by Lee Brandt Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit leebrandt.com. And please tell them the Kimmer sent you. Boom. Now, let's see. This is unbelievable. It just in at the Paris Olympics, the French president Macron apparently is raising eyebrows, and some of the people watching his the way he reacted to an awkward moment, they're calling it indecent. The internet is buzzing. Awkward photos showing French President Macron sharing a touchy-feely kiss moment with his sports minister at the opening ceremony, comparing the affectionate display to a lover's embrace. Luckily, the French president's sports minister is a girl. Her name is Amélie Audi de Cassateur. She's 46 years old, former professional tennis player, the country's minister of sports, and his subordinate, of course, obviously. There's a picture I'm looking at right now. They're embracing. She's got her hand. She's kissing his neck. He's kissing her neck. She's got her hand around his neck from the back, pulling him close. Holy crap. She's got his bicep with one hand, the other wrapped affectionately around his neck, planting a kiss on him. The photo's cringe factor shows the prime minister appearing to be averting his gaze from this hideous sexual display. He's pretending to look somebody. He doesn't know where to stand. He doesn't know where to look. It's my lover I'm kissing like this. Embarrassing. I find this photo indecent, not worthy of a president and a minister. The attention of the French magazine Madame Ferrero, calling it strange, says the girl has a penchant for drawing attention to herself. I mean, she's wrapped all around him. Oh, God. Anyway, and by the way, speaking of kinky, rather bizarre situations, and I did not know this was a thing in a foreign country. Check out what might happen to this girl. A British female prison officer, Linda D'Souza Abreu, 30 years old, working at London's Wandsworth Prison. She was caught having sex with a prisoner, which happened to be recorded by another inmate, and it went viral. Well, this woman runs an OnlyFans account. She knowingly took part in the raunchy video with a convicted felon who stole $82,000 from somebody. She clearly was, quote, an enthusiastic participant who wrongly thought she would avoid responsibility. It was a shocking breach of the public's trust. She worked at the prison, but she has an OnlyFans account, and I saw a picture of her. She looks like a stripper. I mean, she's filled with silicone and silicon, I guess, everything else. Silicone, I guess. She pleaded guilty to one count of misconduct in a public office. But check this out. Misconduct in a public office carries a maximum sentence in Britain of life in prison. Life in prison. For misconduct. Not even for sex, for misconduct. Holy crap. She's a married mother. She's a mother married. Police investigation. She holds a Portuguese passport, and she was trying to sneak out of Heathrow Airport. She called her boss and said, I'm not coming to work. And they caught her trying to catch a flight to Madrid. My God, having sex in the prison.
By the way, they're rioting in Southport, England. Again, now it's actually the English people are rioting because they've got an African immigrant that came in there and he stabbed those 3 girls to death and all those others. So now they're rioting, and the press is calling them far right because they're mad that those little girls get stabbed and they're throwing rocks at the mosque. They're rioting against the police.
The Taylor Swift concert you're talking about? That was the 17-year-old, or have I got the 17-year-old kid was what, a black kid from Africa, and so holy smokes! And by the way, no kidding, they ought to be respond. Is he an illegal immigrant? I wonder. I mean, what's his situation?
Probably.
Holy crap.
And, of course, the self-loathing English press is going against the townsfolk there, and they've had enough. They're rioting in Ireland. They're rioting there in England. It's spreading, and, they were warned. They're going to keep doing this, bringing third world in. You get third world problems on this. Plus, we got breaking news in Atlanta.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Bad Hombre just sent out a photo of the embarrassing turnout for Kamala Harris at Georgia State. Most sections of the arena are completely empty. Even worse, most people showed up to see rapper Megan Thee Stallion. The honeymoon period did not last long. And Wendy says, remember this photo because Trump will be in the same stadium next week.
Oh, my God. There's nobody there. A crowd of almost 200 showed up for the vice. And again, she's the vice president. You would think to just be anybody being any vice president and running for president. Oh, my God. Good. Well, good. I hope the whole world shows it. Oh, they won't, of course. They'll protect her. They'll show, they're from the back. They'll show the people just from the back of the crowd, all close up, so it looks like they're all swarming her. Good Lord. That's too bad. That's too bad. Anyway, 540. And again, by the way, thank goodness they're upset and fighting back in Britain. I mean, it's about time. Again, this is happening all over the world. This stuff is happening, and it's about time we should react.
Yeah. And when the pro-Hamas ones were rioting a month or so ago, they never called them far left. They didn't call the whites that showed up in support of Hamas far left. But the townsfolk of Southport show up, and all of a sudden they're Nazis, fascists, and far right by the British press, the BBC, and all of them.
Yeah, I would find it hard to believe that British citizens in any community would in any way describe themselves or be able to be described as hard right-wing conservative troublemakers. The British? Please. I mean, there's no way that would be a thing.
The British are minorities in a lot of their towns now, just like the Dutch in Rotterdam, The Hague, Amsterdam. They're the minority now.
Yeah. Again, the most common name for new babies in London is Mohammed. Mohammed. For new babies in London. It's 5:45. Holy moly. Anyway, Braves are going to be back on TV Thursday, and we'll wrap up kind of the newsy stuff and Flounder's funnies and see what's going on here with the Kim, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 5:45 on 106.3. Like that.
XTRA 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you unedited news, information, and updates. With an all-star lineup of local and network voices, XTRA is committed to being the station you need during the biggest election of our lifetime.
This presidential election is unlike any other.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is XTRA 106.3 FM, and listen across Georgia on the XTRA app.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road, and with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth has it for you. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4, or the Subaru Forester, the SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where the adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com or come visit us today on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth. We're Subaru of Gwinnett.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available.
The coffee cup of stuff. Elle Enchanted and Will Smith's wife in the Independence Day movies, Vivica A. Fox, is 60 today. And let's see, 1942, joined the Navy and ride the waves. Yes, it took on a whole new meaning on this day, though. President FDR signed a law that members of the, quote, women accepted for volunteer emergency service, or WAVES, are now part of the United States Navy. Arnold Schwarzenegger, 77 today. There you go. Happy birthday. All right, that's pretty good there. Now, a couple things in case you didn't know or just joined us. The Olympic Committee is not the same as World Championships when it comes to boxing. And in the Olympic competition coming up later this week in the female boxing category, 2 men, one from Algeria and one from Taiwan, were thrown out of the World Championships last year because they have XY chromosomes. Yet the Olympic Committee says we cannot kick them out for that, and so men are going to be fighting women in the Olympics in Paris coming up later this week. Just for the record.
They're beating the hell out of them
That's
now.
right. They're social. If you didn't see the video, look it up on social media. If you're the kind of person to check it out, you'll see this one guy beating the crap up, pounding the headshots on this girl boxer who says she was lucky to get out of there alive. Someone's going to die.
They got to sue. They got to sue everybody who allowed it to happen. Everybody that made the decision, they have to sue all of them out of existence.
Again, I can't. Where are the women? How is
where are the women's group?
How is it possible anybody could allow this? I mean, honestly, it would be, if I were a girl boxer in the Olympics and all of a sudden I show up to fight a boy, a man, who went through testosterone when he was 8, 10, 12 or whatever and all this stuff and puberty and everything. I mean, I think I would hate to be dedicating my whole life to being a great boxer and then step in the ring and say, I quit, I'm not going to do it, and protest by refusing to box. But there goes your whole lifetime of training career for that. I mean, is it worth you giving up your whole life for that guy? I mean, someone ought to give up something for it, but you shouldn't have to suffer for it. Why should the real girls have to suffer for what they've dedicated their whole freaking professional lives for, their athletic lives for? Seriously.
We're the women's groups. I mean, it's hard to respect anything you do if you don't protect your own.
Even the Me Too people. That turned out to be a political joke.
It's all a joke.
Now? Is there even a national organization of women anymore, ever? Anyway, 5:53. God, I can't believe it. I'm late. Let's do a Secret Service meeting. They admitted today they were everything screwed up. They should have had the guy on the roof. They didn't know about the drones. They didn't have enough people. And there was a little bit of an argument with the acting Secret Service director and Josh Hawley, Flounder, if you will, sir.
Is it not prima facie that somebody has failed? A former president was shot.
Sir, this could have been our Texas school book depository. I have lost sleep over that for the last 17 days,
Then
just like
fire
you have.
somebody to
and I will
hold
tell
them
you,
accountable.
Senator, I will tell you, Senator, that I will not rush to judgment, that people will be held accountable, and I will do so with integrity and not rush to judgment and put people
I can't believe
unfairly
that you
persecuted.
are unfairly persecuted.
Unfairly,
We've got people
sir.
who are
we
dead.
have to be able to have a proper investigation into this, Senator.
Well,
unfairly persecuted.
Yeah, I didn't know he said that. I had no idea that he was complaining about being persecuted. Everybody there should be all of them should be taken to task. In fact, again, every person who was detailed, whether it was a state police or county cop or local cop and Secret Service and anybody else in the government who was assigned to that duty should be hauled in and put under oath. What were you told? Where were you going? What did you do? When did you do it? Who did you tell? When they find out who told so-and-so and so-and-so, you're going to find the breakdown.
He was upset because he was finally being held responsible. Somebody in the federal bureaucracy was finally being held responsible for people dying and the waste of taxpayers' money and incompetence. And they are so above us now, they don't think they work for us anymore. They think they're above us.
Yeah. It's going to be a hell of a Saturday coming up. Georgia State, by the way, if you just tuned in, Pete mentioned there. Was it a text or a tweet or something about the crowd? Somebody sent a tweet showing the crowd shot of Carmela's side piece at Georgia State University's Contemplation Center, whatever the hell they call it, and there's like 80 people there. I mean, there's nobody in the state. I mean, my
it's
God.
It's kind of like a basketball game there, usually.
Yeah, and by the way, what's important is she's coming back Saturday. Well, now, maybe they'll change their mind after what happened today. I'll bet if they take a look at this, say, geez, we can't take a chance. Donald Trump and Carmela side piece are both scheduled to be at the same place on Saturday at Georgia State. Now, I'll bet you after what happened with her crowd today, I'll bet you her people are going to say, hell, we can't take on Trump. He's going to have 30,000 people there, and we're going to have 14.
Talk about a nightmare of
security.
security.
Can you imagine being around Georgia State this week, Saturday?
No.
Now, again, that's what they're saying right now. I wonder whether that's going to change by the weekend. I can't imagine. How could they? Well, we'll see. Oh, my God. This is going to be so great. And they're still going after J.D. Vance. MSNBC political analyst Molly Jong Fast claims that J.D. Vance is just such a racist that he just wants more white babies in America. Louder if you would, sir. This is on MSNBC, talking about J.D. Vance.
It is right. Yeah, hold on one second.
Okie dokie. There we go. I was talking with the host named
there.
Jonathan
More and more
Lemire.
Americans choosing not to have kids, which again emphasizes why J.D. Vance's comments about childless Americans, childless cat ladies, could be so politically damaging.
Well, so what's interesting is this natalism that comes from an authoritarian playbook, right? That there need to be more white children, right? That's the idea that there's, this is about great replacement theory, racism, right? This is what this is. So don't misunderstand it for him wanting more children. He wants a certain kind of, racist thing.
The nerve! Can you believe this woman?
Do you want the definition of natalism?
Yeah. What the hell is that?
This is perfect for Democrats. This is perfect for they play with words. It's also called pronatalism or pro-birth position, a policy, paradigm, or personal value that promotes the reproduction of human life as an important objective of humanity and therefore advocates high birth rate.
So she turns it into he wants more white children. And again, for the record, he is married to a woman of Indian heritage, and they have 3 mixed-race kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just outrageous. Just the very thought of this kind of stuff. My God. Rachel Maddow tried to say that his interest in Lord of the Rings movies was a series to the far right.
Oh, my God.
I swear to God, these far-right people with their Lord of the Rings things, man, they're all white nationalists. He wants to be buried in his family plot in Kentucky as an Easter egg of white nationalism, according to Rachel Maddow, J.D. Vance. I mean, these people are gaslighting. I can't... they're sick. They're perverted.
Kamala should have no more than 30%, and the fact that she's got over 40 is just frightening.
I don't believe it for one thing. One more. Holy crap, it's Flounders Funnies, if you don't mind, as we rip up your Tuesday.
Learn about Egypt. I'm supposed to believe 4,000 years ago, you guys built the pyramids, right? And then for the next 4,000 years, you built Jack. You built the greatest thing ever created by human beings 4,000 years ago. And then for the next 4,000 years, the best thing that you can create is cotton sheets. I'm not a stupid person. I'm not going to believe some bullshit lie like that, okay? I do some more research. Turns out they didn't even build their own pyramids. Do you know who they say built the pyramids? They say that the Jews built the pyramids. Look, I think they got the contract. I don't know. I don't know if they put all the blocks on top of each other. You know, I think they hired some Mexicans. You're Mexican. Yeah, you guys probably did it. You know, that's for real. That's why people are always like, the aliens built the pyramids. It's like, yes, illegal aliens built the pyramids.
By the way, CBS is firing Norah O'Donnell. Last place, she's dropped all of her ratings. They've cut her salary and everything. Good, they're all leaving because they're all worthless. All right, holy mackerel, it's Owen the Kipper. Gotta go, you're killing me. Pete Davis and Flounder tomorrow is hump day. Well, Christine, sing me home, baby. Herp, herp, look out.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the XTRA app.